All right, let's check it out.
Those in darkness, who once lay dormant,
Temple.
now
Egyptian.
return. We who came before rise again. Behold, the first edict.
Yeah, that's a Dark Souls boss for sure. Origins of Divinity. Okay. Go with it. Okay, this looks sick. Bosses? New Arbiter of Pinnacle boss. What? Oh, that's the guy at the end of the Arbiter fight. Actually works, okay. Ooh. Like that. What the hell? Why is that so big? Oh no, dude. High Fortress? Okay, sick.
You are completely alone.
It looked like the poop boss arena. Runes of Alder. Algurian skills? Like transfigured or something? Charthus? Yo. I might be loading up softcore. Explore the ocean. Wow.
Hunt like it's your last.
Continue the search. See what you can find.
Atlas Class. Excuse me? Wait, hold on. I gotta go back a second. Wait, what? Expedition Pinnacle boss. That looks sick.
Hunt like it's your last.
Continue the search. See what you can find.
Atlas classes. All Temple to Core, surely with a rework. Atlas Abysses. Wow. 15 new bosses and pinnacles? Yeah, we're loading up softcore. And then we'll do a fresh HG after. Atlas Passage Tree. Oh, that looks sick. Spirit Walker. Wait, is that a minion? Martial Artist. Did they actually call it Martial Artist? No shot, they actually did that. Dang, this looks huge.
Is to face oblivion.
Look what I see. Alright. Sick. Alright, let's check the other one. 1 second. That looks sick. Not gonna lie.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live. We have a huge amount of stuff to share today, so it's going to
Oh,
be
yeah?
a good one. Twitch drops are enabled on today's live stream.
Oh,
So
yeah,
you'll
drops
be able
are
to
enabled.
claim the Red Queen's font hideout decoration by following the instructions below. Okay, so with that out of the way, time to roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, Return of the Ancients.
Wait, we just watched that, right? Yeah, we're gonna speedrun this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I just rebound these. I'm trying to get used to the binds.
Very excited to talk about.
Alright.
So as you can see, there's just so much going on in Return of the Ancients, it's hard for even us to keep track of it all. Now we promised that this one was going to revamp the in-game, and I'm very excited to talk about it. But first, we've got to talk about the League. So to do that, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts.
You
game
got the
director
Jordans on?
Path of Exile. Now, for those of you who are new to Path of Exile, each time we release an update, we also release a new league. Not only do we have a new economy, but we also introduce new content through the campaign, which gives you a fresh play experience right from the start of the game, as well as new mechanics, storylines, and in-game bosses. In the Runes of Eldur League, you will encounter a man being attacked by the undead in Clearfell. After saving him, he introduces himself as Pharaoh, a young blacksmith trying to bring back the ancient art of Ezomite runesmithing. He has been collating his discoveries in a tome and is keen to show you how runesmithing works. By inscribing symbols on these ancient Ezomite remnants, you can create all manner of old magics.
So this is like what did I just press there? This is like Bestiary Einhar. What? Kind of weird.
Fortunately, on doing so, the corpses of the nearby undead are revived and infused with some of the latent power, making for a difficult fight.
Yeah, that looks dangerous.
After defeating these monsters, Pharaoh realizes that runesmithing is a dangerous business, and he is going to need the help of someone a little more martially inclined to discover these secrets. He lends you his tome and asks that you note down anything you discover when you return to him. In each area in the Runes of Eldur League, you will find a remnant, and as you approach it, you will notice that some symbols are already present, and some are waiting for you to fill them in. Depending on which symbols are already present, you will have different options for which items you can create using this magic. For example, if you combine Tempest and Lightning, you can create an Orb of Augmentation.
Wait, how do you actually get these runes? Where do they come from exactly? Just helping the guy out or something? Or are they looted?
But be careful. The symbols used to craft the items also empower the monsters around the remnant, who will be revived as undead to fight again with different properties depending on what runes you used.
Dude, this sounds like Archnem,
So,
but
if you use a fire rune in your recipe, the
more
monsters will be
convoluted.
empowered with fire. Or if you use a moon rune, lunar beams will rain down as you fight the monsters.
be less convoluted. Holy mace gameplay, dude. The wind-ups.
After the fight, break the remnant to
Collect them
receive
as
the
you
item
go?
you crafted.
Collect them from where, though?
As you get higher level, you will start to find remnants with more slots for more runes, allowing you to craft rarer items. As the number of slots increases though, more waves of monsters will be added,
This sounds super rippy.
with each wave being empowered by more and more of the runes. And this can get pretty dicey, because some of the runes can have powerful effects. Like the Oath rune, which will cause one monster to be nominated as a leader, spawning waves of minions. The leader itself will be invincible, but killing its minions will deal damage to it.
Huh.
Some recipes can get pretty large, requiring 6, 7,
Oh my god, dude.
or even 8 runes.
This is death.
But don't worry, you won't have to remember them. Pharaoh's runecrafting book will record all the options, allowing you to simply pick which one you want to craft, given the existing runes that are already on the remnant. To expand your knowledge and to allow you to craft more items, Pharaoh has asked that you keep an eye out for signs of runic magic around Rayclost. He wants to document anything you find in order to rediscover the secrets of Ezomite runesmiths of old.
Cool. These are like recipe components or something?
The first of these can be found in Ogham, and reveals to you an ancient secret, buried deep underground. The runic magic which the Ezomites believe to be their own is actually of Kalguran origin. Thousands of years ago, the Kalgurans came to Rayclass to find sources of verisium, a metal on which engraved runes allow control over reality. Pharaoh is determined to learn these ancient ways and gain mastery over them. If you can bring him more verisium, he will be able to use it to smith power into any armor, granting you runic ward.
That was the coolest,
power harnessed by the Kalgurans since ancient times.
coolest anvil I've ever seen. The anvil that guy has looks so
Runic
sick.
ward is a new resource that protects you from death. Should you run out of life, your runic ward will kick in, sustaining your body until your life can return. It effectively acts as an extra life pool. Of course,
Excuse
should
me?
you take enough damage to run out of that, you will still die. Every single piece of armor in the game can be upgraded this way.
Maybe HC is back on the menu if we
even
have a cheat death.
uniques. Some are just a strict upgrade, giving runic ward with no downside. Others are more extreme, sacrificing defenses to get a much larger amount of runic ward. There are even some that add new modifiers to uniques entirely.
So runic ward is the cheat death thing, right? I guess it's like the PoE2 version of ward. Runic ward.
Making them much more viable for higher level play. But the Kalgurans
Alright,
use...
going back.
There are even some that add new modifiers to uniques entirely, making them much more viable for higher level play. But the Kalgurans use
Interesting.
runic ward for more than just a defense. It can also be used to power many other magics. Instead,
Pause. Tap into the power of the Triskelion flame to empower the next spell you cast that affects an area around you or a target location. The empowered spell becomes centered on your location. Also targets 6 additional areas around you in a Triskelion pattern. What the hell is a Triskelion pattern? For duration, 800% of empowered skills cast times added skills cooldown. Powered skill has 4% less AoE, 30% less damage.
instead of using gems created from corruption, the Kalgurans used runes of power and fueled them with runic ward. Many of the options available from remnant crafting are new types of Kalguran skills that exclusively spend runic ward to wreak havoc. An example is Triskelion Cascade. Using it will cause your next spell to be triggered multiple times in a Triskelion pattern. You can use it with skills like Ice Nova that you cast from yourself, or with something you target at a distance, like Comet.
Hey, that seems balanced.
There are also skills to modify existing effects using runic magic, like Frost Flame Nova. Using this skill on a pack of burning enemies will transform the Ignite into Frostfire, both burning them and building up freeze at the same time. You have basic buffs like Hollow Shell that guards all nearby allies, to more
that looked
complicated
trash.
mechanics like the
Pulse spends 100% runic ward to grant allies guard equal to 35% of the ward spent. Guard?
You have basic buffs like
Isn't
Hollow
guard just your block shit?
Shell that guards
Like your
all
block
nearby allies,
bar thing?
to more complicated mechanics like the
Mark a target with the first CM rune, deal enough damage to the enemy or killing it, cause the mark to activate, triggering explosion. Rates when marked enemy is dealt damage equal to 200% of its ailment threshold.
Mark of Repulsion that creates a mark capable of pushing away all nearby enemies.
So if you're in hardcore, is there any reason to actually spend your runic ward instead of just using it as a cheat death pool or whatever? That's what I want to know.
Instead of spending mana, like skill gems do, all these skills cost runic ward, and unlike gems, they don't have a color. This means that they don't care about attribute requirements, or what
Attribute.
kind of weapon you use. These skills are designed to be used on any class, and so often interact with mechanics that apply across many characters. By combining
This is a good change. Instead of like when you're using a spear, you're not only locked in using spear skills, you can also use other skills too. It's a really good change.
different runes together, the Kalgurans were able to support their runic abilities, and you can as well. There is also a set of runic supports that can be combined with regular skill gems in interesting ways. Concussive Runes allows you to add these concussive shockwaves to any skill that's... There is also a set of runic supports that can be
Runic support. Sports attacks causing them to cost runic ward to use but deal additional physical damage based on the runic ward cost. Dude, what? Added fizz equal to 50% of runic ward cost. Cost an additional 20% of maximum runic ward. 20% of max?
combined with regular
Holy
skill
hell.
gems in interesting ways. Concussive Runes allows you to add these concussive shockwaves to any skill that stuns. While runic concussive
Runic shockwave to erupt under enemies if they heavy stun. That sounds disgusting. Limad.
Runes allows you to add these concussive shockwaves to any skill that stuns.
Shockwave costs runic ward.
While Runic Infusion lets you spend ward to direct
Costs runic ward to use but deal additional fizz damage based on their runic ward cost. Oh yeah, it's like the same wording as the other
empower
one.
the damage on any skill. Now, there are other quests during the campaign too that unlock even more interesting crafting methods.
Bleed, eh?
Buried deep in the jungle in Act 3, you can find the Mystic Refuge, containing even more secrets for Pharaoh to learn from. Using this knowledge, he gains the ability to reforge unique weapons. With this technique,
Some skills you use yourself cause an additional aftershock. I mean, that'd be really cool on a rare weapon
many
endgame,
low-level
but
unique weapons can be upgraded to do significantly more damage. Now, we've been able to take a bunch of uniques that
one druidic prowess. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is, brother. Stacking buff, which grants 10% increased skill speed, and causes hits with spell damage to grant 3 rage per stack for 10 seconds. Max 3 stacks.
had interesting modifiers, but were not in-game viable, and give them a bit of a boost to get there. And it's not just low-level uniques. All Kalguran uniques are able to be like a bunch of uniques that
Wait, what is this getting here? Oh, the physical damage is way higher? That's like it, huh?
had interesting modifiers, but were not in-game viable, and give them a bit of a boost to get there. And it's not just low-level uniques.
Level uniques.
All Kalguran uniques are able to be runeforged this way too.
So this one gains more cold surges.
And they can do some pretty interesting things, like boost to get
Oh, yeah, it
there.
has more damage as well.
Not
More
just
damage.
low-level uniques. All Kalguran uniques are able to be runeforged this way too, and they can do some pretty interesting things, like Searle's Grit, a new unique, which when runeforged can get one of several different outcomes. Now, there is still so much more that you can craft with remnants. There are also 100 new runes, as well
Holy 100 runes.
as many other new crafting currencies. This is the runes of Eldur after all, and some of these runes have quite powerful effects. For example, this elemental conversion rune will convert all the existing mods on a non-unique weapon from one element to another. Using it, you could combine a weapon with all 3 elemental damage mods into a single element, making a weapon with massive amounts of cold damage
Yo, that's sick.
to another. Using, for example,
That's pretty sick.
this elemental conversion rune will convert all the existing mods on a non-unique weapon from one element to another. Using it, you could combine a weapon with all 3 elemental damage mods into a single element, making a weapon with massive amounts of cold damage. There is also a rune that lets you destroy your rune sockets to turn them into a dual socket on your item.
Wait, what?
There is also a rune
Oh. You put a jewel in your gear? What?
that lets you destroy your rune sockets to turn them into a dual socket on your item.
Wow.
And
Surely they're nerfing crit, right? Because if not, everybody's just gonna put crit in their gear.
there are even crafting meta runes that can unlock new types of mods when used with regular crafting. For example, this Rune of Chronomancy will unlock a set of time-related mods to be crafted on your boots. Once placed inside, use regular crafting orbs to attempt to get new mods like cooldown speed or increased skill effectuation.
20%
You can also create a
CDR.
new type of currency called alloys.
Oh my god, dude. What?
Using regular metals alloy with Verisium, new modifiers not normally available can be directly crafted onto your items. Using imbued alloy could improve your ailment damage, for example.
There's so much stuff.
There are honestly so many options here that unlock all sorts of crazy crafting projects. So I think people will be experimenting with these for a long time. Once you get to King's March in Act 4, Pharaoh finally meets Danig, a real Kalguran runesmith. And riddled with excitement, he wants to learn how to merge modern Kalguran techniques with the ancient knowledge that he has found. From here on, Pharaoh joins in the Kalguran expeditions that Danig has been leading. With the ancient knowledge that Pharaoh brings to the table, the Kalguran expeditions that Danig has been going on will change significantly. For those of you who haven't played it, the Expedition League mechanic involves carefully placing explosives, uncovering the buried dead, and recovering Verisium from them. By choosing where to place the explosives, you can choose which kind of challenges you would like to face, or rewards you would like to claim. But unlike before, expeditions now contain the remnants from Runes of Eldur, allowing you to do some specific crafts along the way using the new League crafting mechanic.
Bro, what? Are you kidding me? You have to like choose which crafts you want to do mid-expedition? What the hell, dude? Is it real?
One very important difference from the simple remnant encounters, though, is that the empowerments that the remnants grant apply to every monster down the explosive line for the rest of the encounter,
That sounds safe.
stacking together. This can lead to some pretty extreme situations. If you stack too many remnants, you might be in for a fight beyond your abilities, but the rewards can be very worth it. Each mod on the monster is improving the items that they can drop.
Huh? You have,
Once
you
you
have to
get to the
press
end game, but
each
the
one?
rewards can be very worth it.
Each part of the chain? If it
Each
has
mod on the
a
monster is improving the items that they can
craft?
drop. Once you get to the end game, you will find that the atlas has changed substantially. To the south, you will now find the coastline of Rayclast, with the ocean beyond.
To the south. Does that mean it's consistently to the south now? So there's like some semblance of consistency here?
King's March has not fared well after the Cataclysm, and lays in ruins. Rog's shop has been destroyed, but he is much more concerned about his wife, Gwennon. He would like to launch an expedition deep into the ocean to find her,
Giga Chad
and
walk?
this begins a new major mechanic for expedition, exploring the ocean.
Sick.
Previously, a logbook was a single encounter. Now, using a logbook, you can send ships to explore an area of the ocean to the southeast, uncovering a range of islands to begin your search for Gwennon. You can hop from island to island, doing many new encounters. There are islands with expeditions, grand expeditions, new bosses, and all sorts of other unique things to find. Eventually, you will find the island that Gwennon has been holed up on. It turns out that she has found the tomb of an ancient Kalguran, Medved. While she appreciates you coming to her rescue, she is still keen to blow open the doors of the vault and take whatever you can find inside.
Cool animation.
It's just a shame that Medved isn't as dead as you previously assumed.
Medved, not dead. I think this is the same as
Now, after
the
you have defeated
boss from like the Citadel encounter. He has a one ability that's really, really dangerous. Does a fuck ton of damage.
Medved, you will find another logbook, and this time you can use it to choose which direction you want to explore. The ocean is vast and contains a huge number of new islands to find. With each logbook, you can explore one sector and you can go as deep as you like.
Infinite?
There are all sorts of interesting objects to uncover and dungeons to explore. Many of the islands have expeditions with totally new mechanics. So for example,
Fishing?
here is a volcanic
Fishing?
island with voltaxic sulfite. Blowing up the sulfite will unleash extra waves of enemies. But there is also this wall with a suspicious light coming from behind it. On blowing it open,
Sus.
a giant ogre comes out,
Rug
and he is
whore.
determined to eat as much sulfite as possible. The more sulfite mounds that you have blown up, the more empowered and the more rewarding he will become.
Surely swords are coming. Where's the where's swords at? Are we not getting swords?
These islands
Is it
contain
over?
all sorts of little secrets that you can find and blow up. Free trapped wisps, blow open root doors, even raise ancient precursor technology.
Yeah, it was Wind Waker.
And of course, more bosses. There are more and further vaults to blow up, and one of them in particular is pretty important. The Tomb of Uhtred, the Star Drinker.
Let's go. Has he always had 4 arms?
Uhtred was responsible for calling down the meteors of Verisium, which the Kalgurans used to power their ancient magic. And upon defeating him, he calls down a truly gigantic one into the ocean nearby.
Dinosaurs.
On visiting it, you find that it is shrouded by a strange energy emanating from the Verisium core of the meteor within. There is something growing in there, and it can't be anything good. In order to gain entry, Danig suggests that the Triskelion Flame, an ancient Kalguran artifact that can absorb and cancel the effects of Verisian magic, could be used to enter. But to find it, you will need to locate the Tomb of Olroth, leader of the Knights of the Sun. Defeat him and gain access to whatever eldritch nightmare is growing inside.
Dude, there's so many bosses.
Now, we're not going to spoil the boss, but one thing you should know is that the Verisium that makes up the core of the meteor is of a quality that has not been available for millennia. Bringing this to Pharaoh and Danig should allow them to forge some objects of power, the creation of which has been
100% spell damage. 70% of damage taken from hits bypasses energy shield. The energy shield is below half. Use all runic bindings when you shapeshift to gain an equal amount of unbound potential. Bro, what the hell is that? Unbound potential? Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is.
lost to time. So that's the League, and there is a lot going on. To sum all that up, there is a new encounter with over 30 new monster types and over 30 new rune modifiers to enhance them.
Oh my, this freeze, are you kidding me?
More than going on. To sum all that up, there is a new encounter with over 30 new monster types and over 30 new rune modifiers to enhance them. You can create more than 100 new runes to craft your gear, as well as dozens of other new currency items. And there are new quests added to the campaign to unlock even more new crafting options. Rune forging armors, upgrading uniques, dozens of new Kalguran skills and supports, tons of new islands to discover by exploring the ocean, 5 new bosses, including a new pinnacle boss, and a bunch of new uniques to top it off.
I wonder how hard these the new bosses are.
There is still a ton more to come. It's time to talk about the massive changes to the endgame. But for that, I'll hand it back to Jonathan.
Now, as Mark hinted at before, the endgame atlas is very different now, and the ocean to the south is the least of the changes. The entire area around your starting location is now teeming with new questlines and things to discover. Will you investigate the strange forest to the west? The cracks in the earth to the east? Or perhaps visit the ruins of a vile city in the north? The atlas now has fixed points of interest at specific locations, giving you specific objectives that are easy to find.
Cool, I like this.
Like before,
Infinite, but
no matter
not
which objective you
random as
choose,
hell.
going to towers to see what's out there is always a good idea.
I like it.
The first time you do that, though, something new happens. The earth shakes, and a gigantic fortress rises from the earth. A remnant of the ancient precursor civilization.
That looks sick.
The cataclysm of the beast has caused an ancient protocol to be invoked. Should corruption ever take hold to this degree, the world must be scoured and purged of corruption. You will need to make your way into the fortress and activate the gates. Gain the keys to reach these ancient precursor weapons, and disarm them. But this will be no easy task. The fortress has many areas to explore and many new things to find. You will power
It's like a
up
roller
ancient
coaster.
machines, fight new and deadly foes, discover many new areas, and uncover some dark secrets. Now, the Fortress is the first of the new full endgame storylines that we're adding in 050, and there's a lot going on with it. But not only that, it has some pretty cool new mechanics as well. The areas inside the Fortress are special. Many of them have new mechanics or rewards that they grant. Like this map, where all the rares are contained in essence crystals. Or this one, which replaces all monster packs in the area with strongboxes.
Sick.
Or this one, which spawns an Asmeri spirit that always moves on from a rare after you kill it, allowing you to chase it through the entire map.
Thanks for the 6 months DLB. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, dude.
Now, just like the normal areas of the Atlas, you'll need to fight the map boss of each area to complete the map. But unlike a normal map,
What's up?
now,
What is this icon here? What does that mean?
just like the normal areas of the Atlas, you'll need to fight the map boss of each area to complete the map. But unlike a normal map, the
Holy
ones in the
damage.
fortress each contain precursor nodes after the boss, and activating these nodes will give you points for the new and improved Atlas passive tree.
New and improved, not just new. It's also improved.
The ones in the fortress each contain precursor nodes after the boss, and activating these nodes will give you points for the new
Yeah, it looks review.
and improved Atlas passive tree. Now, we had an Atlas passive tree before, but it was one of the areas of the endgame that just wasn't up to scratch.
Yeah, it sucked.
The Atlas
Did the increased precursor tower reveal radius? That sounds pretty
tree
strong.
now works quite a lot differently. We have
Possess strong
significantly
boxes?
upgraded the kind of mechanics that you can find on the Atlas tree. Like this one, that gives a chance
Cells have a chance to flee to an adjacent map and upgrade their equipment. What does upgrade mean exactly in
make
this
rogue
context? Like rarity?
exiles you fight, retreat from combat,
Or like
and move to an adjacent map.
higher tier mobs?
Before you fight them again, they'll upgrade their gear and come back with a grudge this time. There are also a lot of nodes that combine mechanics together in new ways. Like this one, which lets Asmeri spirits possess strongboxes.
Betrayal
All
items?
the regular monsters that come out of them are touched by the spirit, and the rares are all possessed,
God,
giving
no.
you some incredible loot potential.
What? Crazy loot.
You get points from every single
Three
area you
rares?
complete in the fortress, and unlike before, that means you can allocate to the entire Atlas tree.
So this is what Vol Temple down here. Wow, they made these way more intricate. There's like so much more going on here now. This is a ritual, right? Ritual, Vol Temple.
You get points from every
Delirium, Breach, Abyss.
single area you complete in the fortress, and unlike before, that means you can allocate to the entire Atlas tree. Yes, this whole tree can be yours.
Wait,
This change
really?
is pretty important, since it allows us to be able to create many types of bonuses that we wouldn't have been able to create before.
Wait, what? You can allocate everything, so the only thing that matters is the order that you allocate them in? How long does it take to unlock all this?
Like this one, which gives a chance for cities to be invaded by another faction, and can even allow it to contain 2 faction leaders, allowing
Holy shit.
you to get 2 crisis fragments.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
Thing in the old tree, you would have wanted to spec into it before running a city map, then unspec out of it before running anything else. With full allocation, we can have cool bonuses like these. Now, obviously, we still want to make sure that you have choices that define your in-game Atlas build. So many nodes in the Atlas tree are now multi.
25% chance shrine buffs are instead applied to the boss when activated, granting an additional reward. Yeah, I'm never clicking that.
choice. Everyone will get the node, but which bonus you choose to use is up to you. Do you want your powerful boss maps
Essence, Summoning Circle, or Rogue Exile.
to contain more essences, summoning circles, or rogue exiles? But there's also nodes that contain more unusual things. So for example, on this
Saw
node you
that.
can choose. Do you want to give a chance for shrines to instead be given to the map boss in the area?
Yeah, I'll
making
take
them
number
more
1.
challenging, but dropping special loot?
Definitely taking number 1.
Or would you rather give a chance to be given a shrine buff before entering boss arenas, making for an easier fight? Now, I could probably nerd out about cool stuff in the tree all day, but we should probably get back to the fortress.
Nerd now, dude.
Now, one of the really
Shutting
important
out.
things we wanted to do was make it so that all the boss fights in the endgame are now accessible with a quest line. That means that to fight the Arbiter of Ash for the first time, you don't need to get lucky by finding keys. They will be in fixed locations and there's a quest to get them. But the
Fix
Arbiter of Ash is no longer the
locations.
pinnacle of Path of Exile 2. For that, you'll need to travel into this time. You
that?
don't need to get lucky by finding keys. They will be in fixed locations, and there's a quest to get them. But the Arbiter of Ash is no longer the pinnacle of Path of Exile 2. For that, you'll need to travel into the very center of the fortress. An incredible challenge awaits you should
Arbiter
you choose
2?
to go there.
Yo, yeah, we might be loading up hardcore. Let's just
After the
be the first to
storyline,
kill
you
this guy.
still unlock keys for pinnacle bosses in the usual way. Exploring the world and finding the keys
Do they nerf ES? Do they nerf ES?
required to get to them. But we have added a lot more interesting things to find out there as well. There are now all sorts of mechanics that can spawn on maps in the wilderness. For example, some maps might spawn as a rogue exile hunting ground, containing multiple rogue exiles who are there to hunt rare beasts. You might come upon them in the middle of a fight and be able to take out both of them. Or a map of champions that makes all the natural inhabitants of the area into magic monsters.
Sick.
Or this one that causes all shrines in the area to release as merry spirits when used. Once you have explored and found your keys, you can return to fight the pinnacle in the fortress again. But this version of him will be harder, and not only that, he will have new unique rewards as well. Each time you fight him, you get the ability to activate one section of the fortress, and any maps that you didn't finish there will be automatically completed, giving you all the Atlas points. So if you're the type of player who doesn't want to explore the fortress, and instead just race out into the infinite Atlas, you still have a way to get all those points.
Oh, so wait, all of the Atlas points come from inside the fortress? Is that the only way to get the Atlas
So
points?
that's the Origins of Divinity storyline. It's a huge amount of new content with a ton of new areas, 5 new bosses, including a pinnacle, with a bunch of new unique items. But not only that, that's
That
the
was
Origins of
that was a
Divinity
spoiler.
storyline. It's a huge amount of new content with a ton of new areas, 5 new
So there's some mechanic here. He does a thing on the ground. You have to get inside the
bosses,
circle.
including a pinnacle, with a
Nice
bunch of
spoiler,
new
dude.
unique items. But not only that, it also completely revamped
read
Divinity
that one more time.
storyline. It's a huge amount of new content with a ton of new areas, 5 new bosses, including a pinnacle, with a bunch of new unique items.
Did he not get hit
You'll have
right
a way to
there?
get all those points. So that's the Origins of Divinity storyline. It's a huge amount of new content with a ton of new areas, 5 new bosses, including a pinnacle, with a bunch of new unique items. But not only that, bosses, including a pinnacle, with a bunch of new unique items. But not only that, bosses, including a pinnacle, with a bunch of new unique items. But not only that, it also completely revamps the Atlas tree, and includes a ton of new map mechanics that you can find both inside and outside the fortress. But this is just one of the new storylines. So let's talk about the
Just
next one
one.
now, Masters of the Atlas. Now earlier we talked about how the multi-choice nodes in the tree allow you to still have an in-game Atlas build, but we didn't think that was quite enough. You have an Ascendancy class for your passive tree. Why not an Ascendancy class for your Atlas tree? Well, that's where the Masters of the
True.
Atlas come in.
True.
Throughout Rayclast are many opportunities for those with the skills to find them.
Yeah, I'm a for me it's the left guy. I'm gonna probably go the left guy just based on looks.
Atlas Masters are willing to train you in these skills, if you're able to help them in return. One such master is Jado, a member of the Order of the
Dude.
Jinn, an organization that secures
Jinn.
powerful artifacts to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. Jado will send you on missions to investigate strange occurrences on the Atlas and recover the artifacts causing them. And for each one you recover, he will gain more trust in you and teach you more ways of the Order of the Jinn. At level 1, you could choose to massively increase the chance for rare and unique chests,
like that.
or make it so that all map bosses
What? That seems insane.
drop an additional unique item. Or make corrupted waystones have an additional modifier,
Yeah, I don't like that.
but at the cost of making them send you to a totally unknown location. Each mission you complete for Jado will unlock another row of abilities and give you another point to allocate, letting you choose how you want to specialize. But there are other masters too. For example, Hilda. Hilda is a member of a guild of monster hunters. She will send you on missions to assassinate specific deadly creatures around Rayclast and harvest their parts. In exchange,
Is that even like how valuable is that powerful
she
map
will
bosses?
teach you her monster hunting skills, like this one, which adds a 25% chance to upgrade any map boss to a powerful version. Or this one, which makes his Marian spirits no longer possess rare monsters, making them go for the unique bosses in the area instead.
Yeah, no thank you.
You might notice that many of the effects on these are both upsides and downsides. So Hilda, for example, can make it so that you only get one attempt when fighting pinnacle bosses. But in exchange for that, they always drop 2 uniques. Because of that, we wanted it to be easy to swap between them depending on what you're doing. As you unlock each pinnacle bosses, but in exchange for that, they always drop 2 uniques. Because
Double effective precursor tablets. Increased exceptional items found. Additional unique from bosses.
of that, we wanted it to be
5% chance one rare monster is replaced by a random map boss. 5% 3 additional rare monsters are replaced by a random map boss. That's kind of cool.
easy to swap between them depending on what you're doing.
Maps have an additional revival. What the hell is that? What does that mean? Can I do that in HC? Waystones have 25% more effective prefix, 25% more effective suffix. Spirits only possessed after maximum empowerment. 100% increased rarity of items dropped by magic monsters.
As you unlock each master, they will appear on the side of the screen. Simply click whichever one you want to use to run the map, and all the bonuses you have selected for that master will be activated. This allows you to have a few different strategies that you can quickly pick between, depending on what you're running at the moment. Now, one thing that's been pretty obvious is that the in-game leagues we created when launching Early Access in 010 were not really up to the standard of the leagues we did since then. Fate of the Vile and Rise of the Abyssal just have a lot more going on than Delirium or Expedition, for example. We wanted to do a serious upgrade to all of these mechanics before we do our 1.0 release, and so that's what we've done. All 4 of the leagues we launched in Early Access have been upgraded with not only new quest lines, but new mechanics, new crafting systems, new uniques, and new pinnacle bosses. One of the really important changes we made to all the leagues is that you can now find them on the Atlas in specific locations, and each one has a quest line that will lead you there to being able to complete the league, along with its Atlas tree and its pinnacle boss.
Very good,
This is
very good.
even for the leagues that we didn't do major redesigns to. So let's use Abyss as an example. When you first encounter one in the endgame, you'll get a quest that leads you to the east, where you will find these mega abyss cracks in the earth leading away from the Well of Souls. All the maps along the cracks will contain abysses with special properties, and mapping along these cracks will close the Atlas scale abysses, giving you points for the Abyss Atlas tree. At the end of each Atlas abyss, you'll find Atlas tree. At the end of giving you points for the Abyss Atlas tree. At the end of each Atlas abyss, you'll find an Abyssal Depths with the boss fight for one of the Abyssal factions, giving you a guaranteed way to fight them.
Dude, I need to learn these bosses. I don't really know them. I should probably do that before launch.
And after completing all 3, you'll get a key for the Well of Souls, allowing you to fight the Vessel of Kulamak. This kind of thing makes an in-game league so much more friendly for new players, giving people obvious goals and a guided experience to complete them. Alright, so let's talk about the first of the upgraded leagues, Delirium, and its new storyline, The Hare and the Raven. As you may remember, during Act 4 you were
Holy
tricked
shit,
into
we're only
releasing an
halfway
ancient
through
entity from a
this video?
Kardui prison
Dude.
known as Tangmazu, the Raven Trickster.
That's nuts.
As you may remember, during Act 4 you were tricked into releasing an ancient entity from a Kardui prison known as Tangmazu, the Raven Trickster. Tangmazu delights in breaking the minds of those who step through his mirrors, and when touching one, he will attempt to destroy your mind with twisted abominations generated from your worst fears. In Return of the Ancients, the first time you approach one of his delirium encounters in the endgame, you will find Elder Maddox locked in a trance. His mind is trapped in one of Tangmazu's delusions, and you will need to free him. Once free, Elder Maddox demands that as you caused this problem, you should put it right. He asks you to travel west to the Withered Willow, the location he believes that Tangmazu first gained his powers. But be careful. As you travel there, the Raven Trickster will attempt to break your mind. Each map around the Withered
They said west, right? I should like start documenting where these things are. West is Delirium.
Willow features delirium encounters. Now this is more than a simple quest upgrade.
Whoa,
The
look at
mechanic
that
of delirium has
screen
been overhauled
animation.
and a quest upgrade.
That's sick.
Now this is more than a simple quest upgrade.
Oh.
The mechanic of delirium has been overhauled and expanded. At the bottom of the screen, there is now a bar that indicates how deep into delirium you are. You can see which direction leads deeper by looking at the fog, and the deeper you go, the more challenges you will face. By looking at the bar, you can see how long you have until the delirium ends. And you can also see special encounters that you will face, and the deep and expanded.
So this is delirium depth right here, I assume? Like how deep into the delirium you are? And then wait, what is this bar?
At the bottom of the screen, there is now a bar that indicates how deep into delirium you are. You can see which direction leads deeper by looking at the fog, and the deeper you go, the more challenges you will face. By looking at the bar, you can see how long you have until the delirium ends.
Okay, that's just
And you
the
can
delirium
also
timer.
see special encounters that you will face if you're able to go deep enough into the fog. At the end of the bar is always the boss of the map, but we now have a variety of other encounters that you might find as you explore the horrors of your own mind.
End of
Go
the
deep enough into the
bar
fog.
is the map boss?
At the end of the bar is always the boss of the map, but we now have a variety of other encounters that you might find as you explore the horrors of your own mind. For example, you might encounter a purple mirror shard that when shattered will cause all the enemies to become more nightmarish. After hitting this, you'll notice the delirium demons are enhanced, significantly more powerful, larger, and scarier in general.
I hate when they're
along
so
with
vague,
more
like, oh,
rewards.
you can become empowered. They're purple empower. What the hell does that mean, dude?
Or should you perish? After hitting this,
Need more info
you'll
than that,
notice
dude.
the delirium demons are enhanced, significantly more powerful, larger, and scarier in general.
Was it 10% more
along with
damage?
more
100% more
rewards.
damage?
Or should you encounter a red mirror shard, you'll be sent into the depths of your mind.
More difficult and rewarding, yeah.
And must
Exactly.
escape it while fighting off hordes of your worst fears.
That appears like 50 times in PoE1.
If you are able to do so, you will gain a powerful amulet with 2 instilled notables on it. Once you reach the Withered Willow, Elder Maddox,
If you do what now?
and must escape it while fighting off hordes of your worst fears.
Not even taking damage.
If you are able to do so, you will gain a powerful amulet with 2 instilled notables on it. Once you reach the Withered Willow, Elder Maddox discovers that a shard of the mirror is missing. You will need to track down Tangmazu and restore it if you have a hope of discovering how to defeat him. And that means entering the Raven Trickster's mirrors in an attempt to locate him. Each area around the Withered Willow contains delirium encounters, so that's a good place to start. As you do deliriums, some of the special encounters will drop liquid emotions. Normally these emotions can be used to instill amulets to add notable passive buffs to them, but in Return of the Ancients, emotions have a new function as well. Each one now has the ability to add crafted mods to jewels, allowing you to add specific mods to an item
What? Wait, did they not... Did they not nerf the ES values?
slot that can be quite difficult to roll. For example, Liquid Despair will allow you to add critical hit chance, while Liquid Suffering will allow you to add movement speed or Air of Effect to your jewels, but there are many more. Once you've done enough delirium encounters, the location of a grand mirror, an entrance into Tangmazu's realm is revealed, but it won't be that simple to your jewels, but there are many more. Once you've done enough delirium
Grand mirror.
encounters, the location of a grand mirror, an entrance into Tangmazu's realm is revealed, but it won't be that simple to enter. Using his powers, he reflects the map boss for a ridiculous empowered fight, then destroys the entrance into his realm of madness.
Sounds so... Dude, this league sounds insanely dangerous. Which I don't
In order
mind.
to find him now, you'll
But
need
going
to
in
let the
blind, too, is
insanity
kinda
fully
spooky.
into your mind. A strange fruit is left behind which you can consume to fully embrace the madness in an attempt to reach the Raven Trickster's realm. Consuming the fruit will cover an entire area of the Atlas in fog, and every map you do in the fog will get progressively harder and harder as you explore the deeper reaches of your mind.
Are you kidding me?
At some point you enter a new layer. A simulacrum of your memories, twisted and perverted by the Raven Trickster.
Are these going to be just as
Should you
dangerous
be
as they
able
were
to complete
before?
the simulacrum, Tangmazu will believe that you are worthy of a true challenge, and will let you take the remaining shard of his mirror, allowing you to enter his realm of madness back at the Withered Willow. If you dare to face him, it will be a
I
fearsome
dare.
challenge.
Oh, that's really cool looking. I do like that. Yeah, I love the
So,
just like being in the
that's the new
abyss like that. It's
storyline
so
of
sick.
Delirium. As you can see, it's not only a quest line, there are new mechanics, new crafting options, and new boss fights. But one question you might have is, what happens after? Well, once you've completed the story, grand mirrors will start appearing on the Atlas sometimes after completing Delirium encounters. After doing the grand mirror, you can select where on the Atlas you want to do your fruit-induced drug trip and get another key to fight Tangmazu. But this time, the fight will be quite a bit harder, and not only that, the fight will be able to drop a bunch of new uniques that were not available in the questline version. We'll show some of those later. After
Yeah,
doing a
looks
grand
sick.
mirror, the decision of where to spread the fog can be important, because there are some potent emotions that only come from certain
You said
map
it,
bosses
potent.
affected by Delirium this way.
Potent.
Like all emotions, they can craft special mods onto jewels, but these potent emotions can create mods that you can't get any other way. So for example, potent
They're
liquid
actually called
melancholy is
potent.
an emotion that can only come from human bosses, and allows you to add a variety of
Use a random mod and augments a rare basic jewel with a new guaranteed crafted mod. Debilitate on hits. While you have an emerald or sapphire. Inflict exposure on hit while you have a ruby or emerald. Blind on hit while you have a ruby or sapphire. Debilitate, is it the same in PoE1 as PoE2? Like 10% reduced damage or something? I assume. What? Debilitate. Yeah, less damage, less movement speed. It's the same as PoE1, right? 20% less movement speed in PoE1. That's really good, the Debilitate one. Exposure's pretty good too.
on-hit effects. Also, you might want to try instilling amulets with these emotions. They could have some interesting effects.
Oh,
with
come
some
on, why are you
powerful
dragging
notables
those?
that do not normally exist on the tree,
Give me a break.
like Storm's Rebuke. Also, you
Whoops. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong button.
affected by Delirium this way. Potent liquid melancholy is an emotion that can have some interesting effects, with some powerful notables that do not normally exist on the some interesting effects. To try instilling amulets with these emotions.
Fire, cold, lightning.
They could have some interesting effects,
Armor, yes. Evasion.
with some powerful notables that do not
Global phase damage. Increased chaos, increased LE.
normally exist on the tree, like Storm's Rebuke.
Why only cold and lightning?
Which makes armor break boost your cold and lightning damage.
Huh. Ancestrally boosted fire spell? %30 more damage, 25% AoE. So 30% more damage, 25% AoE on a spell? Interesting.
Also notables from a clearly deranged mind, like Calm's Blessing. This skill allows you to ancestrally boost fire spells after using a Warcry. How about using an Ancestral Flame Blast? Now, just like
Yeah,
before, you can also
okay.
upgrade the league
All
by
right,
getting
buddy.
points for a dedicated Delirium Atlas tree. But this now works in a much better way and has much cooler effects.
36
The
points?
maps in the Delirium area of the Atlas give you Delirium passive points for completing
Oh, is this a Atlas passive point thing?
them, so it's easy to see how to progress. Some nodes will add new types of mirror shard encounters to your Deliriums. Like this one, which will pause the Delirium for some amount of time, allowing you to more easily get to higher depths.
Holy
Or
shit,
Deliriums.
look at the delirium bar.
Like this one, which will pause the Delirium for some amount of time, allowing you to more easily get to higher depths. Or this one, which adds extra Delirium modifiers to monsters when you pick it up.
I don't like that.
There are also nodes that can add new types of
Ancient liquid emotions.
drops, like this one, which modifies
Oh, this is for time lost jewels. Attack speed, cast speed. Attack speed on notables.
simulacrum encounters to add special liquid emotions, which can craft time lost jewels, and nodes that apply to the Atlas
Additional simulacrum when delirium fog is spread from grand mirrors.
mechanics of the League. Like this one, which causes the Grand Mirror to spread delirium fog over a larger area of the Atlas, potentially containing multiple simulacrums. Alright, so that's the changes to delirium. The core mechanic now includes a bunch of new things to find, new monsters to kill, and has new mechanics on the Atlas. It also has new crafting system for jewels, and over 20 new unlockable notables for amulets. Not only that, we have a new pinnacle boss with a bunch of new unique items, and a massively upgraded Atlas tree just for delirium.
I want to play HC, but I think it's going to be smarter for me to play SC. So I got to figure out what we're going to do there.
But there's still
I want to see the balance changes, though. When do we get those?
a lot more to come. So let's talk about Breach next. When you first do a Breach in the endgame, you will find Aelith, one of the Keepers of the Flame, an ancient order of monks dedicated to preventing the Hiveborn from entering the world. As you seem to be a keen slayer of demons, Aelith would like to recruit you to the order and asks that you travel to their monastery to the south. On the way there, you'll start to encounter more breaches.
Wait, he said south?
As you seem to be a keen slayer of demons, Aelith would like to recruit you to the order and asks that you travel to their monastery to the south.
Breach equals south. About to map out this entire atlas.
On the way there, you'll start to encounter more breaches, and will notice one of the first changes to the breach mechanic. You still have to kill monsters as fast as you can to keep the breach open, but now you can visibly see how much time you have left to keep it open, and how each kill extends its duration.
Wait, was that not already in the game before?
Once you've reached the monastery, you will learn more about the Keepers.
Yo, is this going to be as strong as it was in PoE1 then?
In the 25
For
years
gear?
since the events of Keepers of the Flame in Path of Exile 1, the war with the Hiveborn has not gone well, and they have managed to establish a foothold in the world nearby. A gigantic area has fallen to the Scourge, and the Keepers are unable to get inside. Inside the monastery is the Genesis Tree, a powerful asset to the war effort, stolen from the enemy and gifted to the Keepers by the Dreamer himself. Using the tree, Aelith could create a breach stone and penetrate the Hiveborn foothold, but without Hiveblood, the tree has withered. To get Hiveblood, you will need to take advantage of another new mechanic of breach. If you can keep the otherworldly portal open for long enough, the breach will stabilize and will enter a new phase. The Hiveborn will send their toughest miscreations to defeat you, and the breach will not close until you can annihilate them, dropping Hiveblood that you can use to restore the Genesis Tree.
So, PoE1? Alright.
In some cases, you may even attract one of the deadliest foes the Hiveborn can offer, a Marshal of Zesht. These monsters also drop womb gifts, and if you take these to the Genesis Tree, they can be used to craft items to help you in the war
Whoa, it's specific item slots now?
against the Hiveborn. Given that 25 years have passed since the beginning of the war, the tree has grown and withered many times, but with each cycle it learns and expands its abilities. When you first open the Genesis Tree, you will notice these
Bro, that is insane how big this thing is.
holes into which you can place your womb gifts. Each womb gift can be used to create a
Belt, amulet, ring, currency. Item level 66. So currency is more high blood, it looks like, than everything else.
different type of jewelry and must be fertilized with Hiveblood. So for example, you can
How you like your eggs? I've got to
place this amulet
fertilized.
womb gift into the tree and it will give birth to a random rare amulet.
One?
But the Genesis
Surely you can get more though,
Hiveblood.
right?
So for example, you can place this amulet womb gift into the
I like how when they drag items on these trailers, they like purposely try not to mouse over anything else.
tree and it will give birth to a random rare amulet. But the Genesis tree is capable of much more. As you continue to feed the tree, its branches will regenerate, and allow you more and more control over what kind of items it will birth.
Dude, oh man, this is kind of insane. Like you're just gonna have to like kind of memorize a lot of this stuff.
So for example, this branch of the tree will allow you to control which base types of amulets can be birthed. And as you go deeper, it will even allow you to create new base types that you can't get anywhere else.
Oh my god, dude, there's so much.
Like this one, which gives you an entire spirit skill for free.
You know what's crazy? If you want to be optimal on league start, like in future leagues, you're gonna have to plan out all of your trees for this too, for the gear.
Or this one, which has a rune socket in it. To the left and right are branches that will
Let's have a life or mana modifier, of course.
let you control which mods the amulet can get, including making sure that they're higher level, or controlling which specific mods that they will always have. With 15 points to allocate, you will have to choose wisely how you want to
Only
specialize
15.
your crafts. But it's worth noting that this tree doesn't have any cost to respecking it. You can enable or disable the nodes at any time by clicking on them. On rings, we've also added some really interesting new crafting options as well. You have a bunch of new
Yo, that max res one though. Max res is crazy.
base types like
And
these,
life. Got a vermilion ring.
but you also have entire new classes of mods that can be added. The right-hand branch of the ring tree adds an entire new set of caster mods to rings.
What?
From basics like extra elemental damage for spells,
What about minions? Increase spell damage.
or more niche options like this mod that increases the rate you gain seals for Unleash.
Pretty sick.
And on the left-hand side, you can unlock an entire new set of mods for minion characters. This stuff is actually pretty important, because
Whoa! Additional minion projectile? Dude, what are they doing? Dude, this is gonna be a balancing nightmare.
casters and minion builds didn't have as many slots with interesting item crafting compared to attack builds. The Genesis tree narrows that gap. There are also trees for belts and currency. I won't go over them too much here, but there are all sorts of goodies in these too, like being able to create new catalog.
Quality for jewels? What the hell, man?
lists for jewels,
Melee minions?
or a belt that gives lightning damage.
Yeah. Melee
Once you've
minions
done
ever
enough
been
breach
good?
encounters, you may finally get a womb gift capable of birthing a breach stone.
It's basically free on High Blood. Cool.
And you can then use it on the Hiveborn incursion. Once used, the true extent of the Breach Demon's foothold becomes clear. They have not only transformed the land,
Holy.
but constructed huge sky hives as well.
Pretty cool.
When you enter the outskirts of their realm, you will discover breach hives. Using the power of the Keepers of the Flame, these otherworldly structures can be burned away when walking through them. But for each one destroyed, more of the Hiveborn will attack when you attempt to purge the hive.
Send them all, dude. Send them all. Wait, is this actually a hive fortress? This is like the in-map ones, a hive in PoE1, right? Did he just call it like a hive fortress though, or no?
Outskirts of their realm, you will discover the extent of the Breach Demon's foothold becomes clear. They have not only transformed the land, but constructed huge sky hives as well. When you enter the outskirts of their realm, you will discover breach hives.
Okay,
Using
these
the power,
hives.
you want to do as many of these as you can. These encounters are particularly rewarding for womb gifts, so you'll want to do as many of these as you can. But your real goal are the sky hives deeper into the domain. These twisted creations
Sky hives? That's a better name than Hive Fortress. Sky
are
hives?
securing the demon's entry into our world.
I really hope they rework these a little bit.
Inside the very center are the Breach Lords Tool and Ash, and you'll need to defeat them if you want to get rid of the foothold once and for all.
This fight's pretty easy in PoE1.
Now, once you've completed the questline version, there is still more to do. You will find other breach domains on the Atlas randomly in your travels. For each one, you will need to find a breach stone, destroy the sky hives,
Sky hives.
and defeat the Breach Lords. And doing these encounters is what will give you access to fight Zesht, the existing Breach Pinnacle boss, which you can access by communing with the Dreamer himself inside the monastery.
Sick.
While completing the questline for Breach, you will also be gaining points for the Breach Atlas tree, and there are a lot of cool new options here. This node will cause breach hives to spawn outside of the hiveborn domains on the Atlas. And this one will give Aelith additional abilities that you can use while attacking a hive. Like this one, which causes all hiveborn in the next wave to be magic, drastically increasing their difficulty in exchange for way more items.
Drastically increasing the
There
difficulty.
are also
Alright,
nodes
bud.
that allow you to control your rewards, like this one, which adds a set of new lineage,
Lineage
supports to
support.
the Marshal of Zesht.
Oh, it's like specific ones. Supports Warcries, causing them to destroy ice crystals and ice fragments. Yeah, that sounds like a balanced nightmare. Power additional attacks if they destroy enough ice crystals. Warcries detonate ice crystals or fragments. Powers 3 attacks if they destroy at least 5 ice crystals. What the hell?
Or this one, which lets you control which womb gifts you will get.
Ooh. Hornet Banded Signet. Lavish is currency, right? I think. Ornate, I don't know. Signet's probably ring. I don't know what Ornate Banded are. Wait.
There's also some nodes that affect the Genesis tree,
Grasping Orchid.
like this one, which will cause Zesh to drop his head, which when returned to the Genesis tree, will grow a grasping orchid on the side of it. You'll have to
The fuck?
experiment to find out what this thing is good for. Putting rings on its fingers seems to make it happy.
Is this a grasping male type thing?
So that's a rundown of what you can expect from the new Breach questline. There's a new stabilization mechanic for breaches, hive encounters, and hiveborn incursions on the Atlas. But you also have a huge new crafting system and new bosses as well. Alright, so let's talk about the Rite of the Nameless storyline next. When you first complete a ritual in the endgame, Aoife, a lost spirit, will appear.
Ether.
She appears to need your help, but isn't able to communicate more than a few words, beckoning you to come to the Wildwood.
A woman of
Like
few
the
words,
other leagues,
eh?
Ritual now has a place on the Atlas to call home. The Wildwood could be found to the west.
West. Wait, Delirium was also to the west. What's up with that? I guess Ritual is here, and then Delirium is like down here, probably.
When you first arrive there, Aoife's spirit will guide you in, where you will discover that inside the Wildwood, spirits can take physical form. Aoife has been bound to this place by the King in the Mists, and requests that you free her. But in order to do so, you will need her body, currently in possession of the King. To reclaim it, you will need to gain an audience with him. Inside the Wildwood, there are many ritual encounters to complete. Like before, in each area, triggering rituals will resurrect the nearby bound monsters to attack you, and killing the monsters will give you tribute. In addition, each ritual you do in the area will add the monsters
Maybe a chance to spawn one or the other. No, they said the league mechanics on the Atlas tree are in like set spots now. So like if you go to the south, you should find Expedition. I think like south or southwest. So it should be like set directions, I believe.
from the previous ritual, making the encounters much more challenging the more rituals you complete. Once you've completed them, spend your tribute to get items. Now, an important change to the rewards of ritual is that all the items in the reward window are now uniques or omens, making this league's rewards much more valuable than before. To get items. Now, an important change to the rewards of ritual is that all the items in the reward window are now
Where's that
unique
omen right
the
there?
more rituals you complete. Once you've completed them, spend your tribute to get items. Now, an important change to the rewards of ritual is that all the items in the reward Now, an important change to the rewards of ritual is that all the items in the reward window are now unique.
I'm trying to. Oh, I was thinking it was a Omen of Death Dancing for some reason. Well, it has the same icon as it. PB1 brain.
Omens, making this league's rewards much more valuable than before. In order to gain an audience with the Nameless King, you need to sacrifice tribute to him. Any remaining tribute you don't spend can be sacrificed this way to fill up this bar.
That's really cool. It always feels bad to leave ritual without spending all your tribute.
Once you have enough tribute for an audience, return to the Wildwood to divine his location with the Nameless Shrine. His location will be revealed deeper in the Wildwood.
This lady's
and
kind of
you'll need
hot.
to make your
Ghost
way to
lady,
him,
Obi-Wan.
kill him, and get Aoife's body. Using her body, you can attempt to release her spirit, but this is when you learn about the true threat of the League. The Wildwood is built on top of an ancient prison. The King in the Mists didn't gain his power out of nowhere. He was granted it by an ancient being of darkness known as the Bodark, and the Nameless King's use of this power
Bodark?
has been causing the prison to weaken.
Ooh.
In order to prevent the Bodark from entering the world, a champion will need to enter its prison and beat him back, but those with a name are unable to survive there. In order to do so, you will need to transfer your name to another with a new mechanic in the Ritual League, the Rite of the Nameless. The rite will begin in a nearby forest. At first, it appears to be a regular ritual encounter, but that will soon change. The final ritual of the area will include the map boss. And defeating him will give you a piece of the effigy onto which you will transfer your name.
Imagine doing this on a map with the monkey.
But the ritual is still not complete. Once the map boss is defeated, the Atlas will open, and you will need to pick another adjacent map to continue the ritual. During the rite, each adjacent map will have different rewards to tempt you. So for example, if you go in this direction, you gain significantly more tribute. But if you go in this direction, the uniques in the reward window will turn into currency instead. You can also sometimes get offered specific items that will be added as rewards. So in
Mage blood. Yo, what?
this case, you'll have to choose if you want to get 5 Chaos Orbs or a Mage Blood. A difficult decision,
Yeah. That's a tough
Sure.
one.
Now, as this is one continuous ritual, the encounters in the next map won't start from scratch. They contain all the monsters that were gathered from the rituals of the previous map as well, making them harder and harder. And that includes the map boss too. You'll need to
Oh
defeat
my
both map
fuck.
bosses
Are
in the
you
final
kidding
encounter
me?
for your next effigy piece. And it still doesn't end there. Pick another map, another reward, and add another map boss to continue
Dude,
until the
what
ritual
the fuck is this?
of the Nameless is complete. It will
There's
take
a
5
monkey in there too, dude. Oh.
maps in all, and will be an incredible challenge.
Wait, you know what? This seems really bad for Energy Shield. Like, yes, recovery in this sort of thing is not going to be easy. Wait, there's 5 of them now?
But once complete, you can return to the Wildwood to perform the final rite. Transfer your name to the effigy, adorn the crown of the Nameless King, and enter the prison.
Yeah, this seems insane for hardcore. Like, holy, dude, 5 bosses in a ritual? Like, there's nowhere to dodge.
Now, of course, once the Pinnacle boss is complete, the League doesn't end there. As you do rituals on the Atlas, you can continue to give tribute to the King in the Mists for another audience. Pick another forest to begin the Rite of the Nameless once more, and this time with a harder Pinnacle boss and new unique items to find. Of course, we've also significantly upgraded the Ritual Atlas tree. Get points by completing maps in the Wildwood, and you'll be able to unlock some pretty cool nodes. Some of them affect the Rite of the Nameless, like this one, which extends its duration. You
Dude.
thought fighting 5 map bosses at once was hard? How about 6? Or this one, which makes maps during the Rite have more reward mods, often having 2. You also have nodes that allow things to combine with other content, like this one, which gives a chance for rituals to be created inside summoning circles, adding a random boss to the ritual encounter. There is even a node which adds a new type of possible ritual, the Audience with the Queen, which causes the Bride of the King to sometimes appear.
Right.
Okay, so that's ritual. But let's have
Looks
a look
like
at what this
a
means
Viper.
for in-game content as a whole for Path of Exile 2. When you include the expedition changes made by the League, we have a total of 5 new in-game storylines, each of which has a hub, crafting systems, areas to explore, NPCs, and a pinnacle boss as a capstone. Not to mention the Masters of the Atlas storyline as well. But more importantly, you now have immediate quests as soon as you arrive,
So,
areas to explore, NPCs, and a pinnacle boss as a capstone. Not to mention the Masters of the Atlas storyline as well.
Expedition, I'm pretty sure the boat is always southwest. Expedition boat. And then I think Expedition itself is like maybe down here? Or is, I guess maybe this is the only thing for
But more
Expedition? I don't even know.
importantly, you
No, that's Breach. South is Breach.
now have immediate quests as soon as you arrive at the endgame, and goals with obvious progressions that you can see how to finish. Each endgame questline has a progress bar you can pop out from the side of the Atlas screen at any time.
Cool.
That shows you how far through you are, and buttons
Wait, so surely they reworked the temple, right? Adzeri's temple? There's no way we're doing the snaking shit still.
that will take you to the hubs for them. Overall, it's just a way better in-game experience
Like, surely we're not doing the snaking shit still.
with a significant number of fun objectives to complete. But just in case you didn't have enough goals, we did have one other thing that you might want to complete this league. These are called challenge leagues after all. Where are all the challenges? Well, players of Path of Exile 1 will be used to the fact that each league comes with a series of challenges that you can complete in order to prove that you are indeed the best. We haven't done these yet in Path of Exile 2, but it's time to change that.
Cool.
If you're able to complete them, you'll earn pieces of the Knight of Alder armor set. Opening the challenge screen will show you a series of 8 challenges.
I like the
Opening the
nut
challenge
protector.
screen will show pieces of the Knight of Alder armor set.
Protect the crown
Opening the
jewels.
challenge screen will show you a series of 8 challenges. After completing each one, anyone in chat or in the forums will be able to see your prowess. In addition,
Wait, what
you'll
the
get a
hell is
stat
this? Check
you'll
out
be able to
these,
see
my
your
skills. What
prowess.
is that?
Anyone in chat or in the forums will be able to see your prowess.
Oh, is he talking about the rune ward skills or whatever?
In addition, you'll get a statue to
ward?
put in your hideout showing anyone you trade with
Yo,
how many
that looks
challenges you've
sick.
completed. You'll earn the first piece of the armor set after doing 2 challenges, and the full armor set after completing all 8. So that covers all the content you'll encounter in Return of the Ancients. But what about some new tools to fight against these new pinnacles with?
Yeah.
Well, we also have some new ascendancy classes as well.
What about
But
the
to
balance
introduce
changes?
them, I'll hand you guys back
When
to
are
Mark.
we getting the balance changes?
As Jonathan said, we have 2 new classes to show you today, the Spirit Walker and the Martial Artist. Let's start with the Huntress.
They really couldn't come up with a better name besides martial artist. Really, that was the best they could come up with.
new class, the Spirit Walker.
2 weeks.
The Spirit Walker has developed an affinity with the Asmerian
Wait,
animal
in
spirits.
2 weeks or 2 weeks before League?
She is able to infuse the power of multiple spirits at her choosing.
1 week before League. Okay.
On the bottom part of the class, you will find paths for each wisp you
Rough.
would like to commune with, be they primal,
Gain a primal owl feather every 4 seconds, max 3. Spend an owl feather when you dodge to trigger primal bounty.
vivid,
Vivid wisp for every 20 meters you move, max 3. Spend all wisps to trigger a vivid stampede when you attack.
or wild. Each one can give you different abilities that align with the stag, owl, or bear.
Pugilist.
Each
Call upon spirits of the stag. Stampede. Spirits of the stag, sending them leaping forward. Each stag releases a damaging shockwave each time it lands. 60% lightning convert. Radius 2 meters. Stag leaps 4 times. This is like rolling magma. 2.5 meter radius with... you can't quality it right. Outside of like some weird uniques. So 2 meter radius. This store's up to 3, right? Yeah, store's up to 3.
Vivid gives you a method to become possessed by wisps of that type, and a new ability when you spend them. Abilities.
So this is a rolling magma that you gain 1 charge for every 20 meters you move. I don't know how far 20 meters is in PoE2. Seems kind of shit, honestly.
That align with the stag, owl, summon stampede when you attack. And a new ability when you spend them. The stag allows you to summon stampede when you attack. The owl grants
seems
boons in
bad.
the form of their feathers.
The owl empowers the next prod skill you use, causing it to create additional projectiles and fly faster. 362. Is that high? I don't know if that's high in PoE2. 362% effectiveness or whatever, attack damage. Is that high? Seems okay. 2 additional projectiles, 68% prod speed.
Which adds extra projectiles and enhances the projectile speed of your next skill.
Let me go back.
Primal.
Gain a charge every 4 seconds, max 3. Spend an owl feather when you dodge to trigger primal bounty. Primal bounty.
Vivid. Each bear simply summons a giant bear. Owl grants boons in the form of their feathers, which
Oh, you have to actually dodge roll to trigger this. You have to actually dodge roll whenever you want the extra projectiles.
adds extra projectiles and enhances the projectile speed of your next skill. And the
Call upon a bear spirit companion to maul your foes. Leaps at enemies to maim them. Leeches life with its slam and periodically roars to intimidate. Intimidate in PoE2 is actually much better, I think. Then PoE1, 10% increased damage taken and 10% reduced damage dealt. Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
bear simply summons a giant bear companion to your side. The bear will maul, slam, leap, and do intimidating roars to debuff your enemies.
So, no spirit cost, eh?
Now you can specialize more into
Gain a Vivid Wisp when Vivid Stampede ends. Stags deal 20% more damage per leap, 20% more shock magnitude per leap. And they leap, what, 3-4 times?
to each of these wisps. But if you
Dodging can expend up to 3 owl feathers, granting Primal Bounty 100% more empowerment effect per additional feather expended. Gain owl feathers 50% faster. This sounds super broken. Super broken if you can shotgun.
want to combine all three of them,
Companions deal additional attack damage equal to 60% of your main hand weapon damage. Ugh.
then a new hidden power will be unlocked. The power
Passive skill is free to allocate. Bear Spirit gains Embrace of the Wild. A Vivid Stags leap towards enemies. Oh. Rolling magma that targets enemies? That sounds pretty damn good. Essential projectile of owl feather empowered skills leaves a trail of soaring ground. Who?
power of the sacred wisps. This node is free and enhances the quality of all three of your spirit animals.
That's sick.
Your
Embrace the Wild protects the bear spirit's allies while they're in its presence, granting them 2% of max life regenerated per second and causing 8% of the damage they would take to be taken by the bear spirit instead. I assume this is the base presence radius, which is tiny. 4 meters. It's dog shit. Is there a radius page on this? No, no image. Let's just assume it's the same as PB1-ish. 4 meters is like 40% of the screen to the right and left. ish, something like that. That's not very good. So ground grants 30% increased evasion rating and 4% increased damage while on full life to you or allies standing on it. 4-second base duration. This is terrible. I mean, this is free, right? I guess it's fine because it's free. Yeah, this is not. That ain't shit.
Bear will take some of the damage you take and grant you life regeneration. Your stags will become more aggressive, leaping towards enemies.
The stag one's really cool.
And your owl-empowered skills will leave a trail of soaring ground behind them. But that's not all. The Spirit Walker has other powers beyond wisps. Such as...
Bandits deal 10% increased damage per idle. 2% increased reservation efficiency per idle. -4 all res per non-idle augment in your equipment.
as idolatry.
Companions, though? So wait, what are the other companions? There's like the wolves. And then you can do the thing that you can like tame beast or whatever. What the fuck is this? Oh, this is a unique. This is Disciple of Katava. Smith the Katava. Infernalist. So you have Wolfpack. Unborn Lich. So there's literally just Tame Beast and Wolfpack. Unless you want to use like some weird unique or something.
Which can give you large bonuses for using idle socketables in your equipment. And this one, which is...
Tame Beast can capture unique beasts. Whoa. Can have up to one unique Tame Beast. Unique Tame Beasts have 30% increased movement speed. Tame Beasts are possessed by random Asmiri spirits changing every 20 seconds. This seems pretty cool. I don't know how good it is, though. I really like the increased movement speed on the Tame Beast. Movement speed's always really good on minion stuff. The weird thing is what's going to happen with this is there's going to be one beast that's best, and then nobody's going to use anything else. That'll probably happen like day 2, day 3.
is my absolute favorite. The Spirit Walker, having attuned herself with nature, can gain the ability to tame beast bosses, opening up a whole suite of very cool options for your build. Maybe you tame the mighty Silverfist in the jungle depths. Or maybe a 3-headed
Dude, what the hell is this even? I need a list of beast bosses.
Chimeral beast in the Chimeral wetlands. Or then there's a giant frozen owl beast, Rakar, the frozen talon. There's so many choices. You're going to have to experiment a bunch with this one.
This seems kind of nightmare tier on like visual clarity and seeing what's going on.
And I'm very excited to see what bosses you all choose to have as your trusted boss companion.
Yeah, surely there's going to be like 1 or 2 bug bosses for sure. And then it's going to be so late in the league that they don't want to fix it, so they just leave it in the league, the entire league.
Next up,
like
we
always.
have the Monk's new Ascendancy class, the Martial Artist.
Yeah, they should have came with a better name for this.
After decades of training, he has mastered 3 of the 7 hollow techniques.
Looks balanced.
Channeling hollow
Form. Channels will create fleeting images of your astral self near the target location. The images perform a socket attack once, then vanish. Targeting the closest enemy. Cannot perform channeled or conditional skills. Just can be created within 6 meters. Creating image spends 80% of socket skill cost. Creates 2 additional images when consuming a power charge. Lovely. 30% less attack speed. 20% less damage.
Form technique allows the
It's channeled.
martial artist to create illusions of himself, which then use a skill of your choosing.
This is like 7-sided strike or whatever in D4, D3. Almost, but it's fucking channeled.
Perfect for turning skills with less area of effect into ones that can obliterate packs with
Dude, channeling.
these.
This looks dog shit.
Should you find yourself overly vulnerable while channeling, you might want to take one.
Okay, they got some. Oh, we can counteract the channeling. Okay. 20% surpassing chance per enemy power to gain Mountain's Teaching on immobilizing an enemy up to a max of 30. Lose a Mountain's Teaching when you are hit, or when you use or sustain an attack that benefits from Mountain's Teaching. Dude, surpassing chance per enemy power. So you gain 3 per enemy power or 2? I guess it's 2. Up to 30. Well, you have any amount of Mountain's Teachings. Attacks you use yourself and attacks granted by this Ascensi class deal 20% more damage. Enemy hits you take that would deal damage less than or equal to 30% of your max life after mitigation. Deal 70% less damage. 50% more stun threshold. Yo. 20%. Okay, so you get 20% more damage. Anything that does less than 30% of your life deals 70% less damage. 50% more stun threshold. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know about all this.
Way of the mountain, which causes you to be covered.
It's like when you need it the most, when you're getting hit hard, is when it does nothing. Seems kind of cringe.
In stone when you immobilize enemies, mitigating large amounts of damage.
And you have to immobilize an enemy too to even get it.
This can even enhance your attacks too.
This
By
sounds
hardening
gross.
your weapon in stone,
Sounds terrible
you
to
can
me.
deal even more damage. After
Hollow focus. While active, ghostly bells periodically appear near you. Your hits immediately destroy the bells, creating a shockwave that damages nearby enemies and causes a heavy stun on enemies that are primed for stun. Bells are themselves always primed for stun and can be cold. .1 second duration between bells appearing. Limit 1 bell. 341% damage on the shockwave. Bells appear within a 4-meter radius of you. This also seems terrible. If you can control where they spawn, then maybe. But they're just going to appear somewhere where you don't want it to appear. And then your best recourse is to drag the enemy through the bell. We don't know the radius. Oh, 2 meters. That's pretty small. This also seems kind of bad, honestly.
taking hollow focus technique, you can manifest your spirit.
Why did he blink back to this right here?
Taking hollow focus technique, you can manifest your spiritual energy into objects. In this case, bells, which will appear around the martial artist and can be shattered by any of his attacks, even ones from the hollow form technique earlier.
This seems
Hollow resonance
awful.
technique furthers that.
Okay. Hollow resonance. Attack damage 224%. Cooldown time 0.5 seconds. 3 uses. Attaches a ghostly bell to your back. Critical hits with other skills will cause the bell to ring out, damaging nearby enemies. Now this one seems really good. Assuming you can get good crit chance. And you can have 3 stacks, 3 charges, and you get full charges every 1.5 seconds. This one seems really good.
By adding a manifested bell to your back, which rings each time you deal a critical strike, damaging all enemies around you. Through all the martial artists
Can tattoo runes onto your body, getting additional rune-only sockets. 1 helmet socket, 2 body armor sockets, 1 glove socket, 1 boot socket.
thorough
Yeah.
training, he has mastered the flow of internal spiritual energy too, and has engraved runic tattoos around his meridians. By doing this, he can gain the benefit of extra runes. Just open your inventory and add the runes. There is 1 that counts as a helmet, 2 as a body armor, 1 as gloves, and 1 as boots. Finally,
Pretty cool.
your hands. The
Your hands. Gloves you equip have their base type transformed to fists of stone while equipped. Their prefixes and suffixes are transformed into more powerful related mods.
ultimate
Hollow
expression of
palm.
a master of the martial arts.
It's time.
Taking Way of the Stone Fist will cause your gloves to become a new base type when equipped. Each modifier on the original
+3 evasion rating per level, +1 max ES per level. So that's what, 300 flat ES? I mean, let's not even assume level 100. Nobody gets 100. Say like level 95? 285 flat ES. 95 flats, or flat evasion, and then 95 flat ES. Their prefixes and suffixes are transformed into more powerful related mods.
pair of gloves has an equivalent, more powerful, and more impactful modifier. For example, these gloves add some physical damage, cold damage, lightning damage, some resistances, and life gain on hit. Now,
Seems pretty good for attack-based builds.
when I equip these, they become literal fists.
Oh, that's not even changed yet. The fuck? Yeah, that seems really good for attack builds. What about for like caster shit though?
Of stone, and not only grant me a bunch more evasion and energy
Kinda
shield,
nuts.
they now also grant a lot more damage,
It's really
some
good.
maximum resistances, and a significantly higher amount of life gained on hitting enemies. With all the different rune combinations you could do, and the different modifiers and gloves, there's a ton of different build options, and we're looking forward to seeing what you can come up with. Now, with so many new bosses in Return of the Ancients, of course we want to have a huge number of unique rewards. There are some pretty cool things in here, so we wanted to show you a few of them. Twisted Empyrean is a 2-handed mace made from the purest of Verisium, combined with the beast's corruption. It converts all of your mace's skills fire damage to corruption.
How much of fire damage with mace skills to cold damage? Added cold equal to 11% of max mana.
It converts all of your mace's skills fire damage to cold, and visually does so too, turning your volcanic fissures into glacial ones. This mace also comes with its own built-in skill, Starborn Onslaught. Using Glory, you can leap backwards, throwing your mace at the ground, creating Verisium fissures.
What skill is this he's using?
Using Glory,
What is this?
you can leap backwards, throwing your mace at the ground, creating Verisium fissures, before calling behind it a storm of cold metallic bolts from the stratosphere.
Oh, it's from the weapon itself?
Cold metallic Starborn damage to cold.
Starborn Onslaught.
Twisted Empyrean is a converts all of your mace's skills fire damage to cold, and visually does so too, turning your volcanic fissures into glacial
volcanic
ones.
fissure.
This mace also comes with its own built-in skill, Starborn Onslaught. Using Glory, you can leap backwards, throwing your mace at the ground, creating Verisium fissures, before calling behind it a storm of cold metallic bolts from the stratosphere.
That's pretty sick.
Next, we have Eventide
You're using maces, so is it really sick?
Petals. An
Ice crystals have 2% reduced max life per 5% cold resist you have.
amulet that not only grants runic ward, but also comes with its own reservation skill. Midnight
Active critical hits with other skills that kill targets or hit powerful targets cause you to gain Arctic Petals. Once you have enough Arctic Petals, they will be consumed to create ice crystals near the most recent target. +1 Arctic Petal per power of targets killed with crits. +4 Arctic Petals on critically hitting rare or unique targets. Consumes 10 Arctic Petals to create 5 ice crystals when able. This sounds like a balancing nightmare.
Zenith. This skill causes your critical hits to grant Arctic Petals that hover around you.
Where are they?
Once you have acquired enough of these Arctic Petals that hover around you,
I don't see shit.
hits to grant Arctic Petals that hover around you.
Oh, maybe they're not showing up yet.
Once you have acquired enough of these petals, they will be consumed, creating a floral ice crystal near an enemy. Then, destroy that crystal to do devastating cold damage to everything around it. The Raven's Flock is a staff
30% chance to inflict grueling madness
perfect
on
for
it.
minion characters.
And grant skill Spiraling Conspiracy.
Not only does it grant spirit reservation efficiency and minion damage, it also allows your minions to inflict grueling madness on hit, slowing enemies and making all other slows on them more powerful for maximum crowd control.
That sounds terrible. What does this skill do though?
That's not where this item shines though. It grants a skill called Spiraling Conspiracy. This skill causes a flock of ravens to circle you, dealing damage over time to anything near them. Killing enemies, or just by standing near unique enemies, causes the flock to grow, getting larger
Yo, this is like what, Death South or something? RF?
and larger. For your PoE1 players, you can think of this just like a Raven Righteous Fire. That's not all, however. These ravens are also minions, so they fully scale with minion damage and come with their own command skill, Mad Flight. This command skill causes your flock to create a tunnel of deathly damage between a set of illusory mirrors,
Shit looks
obliterating
ZDPS.
anything in between. Horror's Flight is a
Well, he is. You're locked into using some fucking shitty ass staff. Did they do anything about minion levels? Or not minion levels, like skill levels in this game?
pair of gloves and sealed with the purest of fear.
Crushing Fear skill. Attack speed, dex. Chaos to attacks. Gain 1 fear incarnate when you cull a target.
Equipping these causes your enemies to become terrified of you. These gloves cause you to gain stacks of fear incarnate when you cull enemies.
Sounds sick on Witch Hunter.
To aid in your culling, these gloves also come with the skill
They
Crushing
lowered
Fear.
the skill.
This is similar to the monk
skill
skill
level thing a little
Killing
bit.
Palm,
That's a good
except it
change.
deals chaos damage, and the amount of damage and area of effect scales drastically based on the power of the enemy.
To start.
As you use this, gain your stacks of Fear Incarnate, which increases your culling threshold, meaning enemies become easier and easier to cull, even to the point of being able to instantly kill some monsters from full life.
Yeah, this these gloves are sick on Witch Hunter.
Sylvan's Effigy is a scepter for
Scepter, increased spirit, allies regen. Companions deal 72% increased damage to your marked targets. You can have any number of companions of different types.
those wanting to run
Seems kind of
companions.
mid.
It allows you to have any number of companions of different types, instead of the normal restriction of just one per type. But what makes this cool is the Asmerian Wolf Companion it comes with. This is a persistent minion that bites foes to maim them, leaps to cause bleeding, and even howls to buff nearby allies. Additionally, it comes with the command skill Eternal Hunt, which when used it will howl, calling on the spirits to manifest spectral wolves to ambush all foes around you. Liminal Coil is a crazy wand.
Man, they're
It allows
really pushing these uniques. They all seem kind of mid. Yeah, you gotta you ban yourself arc right now, preemptively, or else. Magnitudes of curses you inflict are 0. Curse you inflict, ignore curse limit. Spell to gain 25% of damages extra chaos per curse. 25% of damages extra fizz per curse. Spell hits.
allows you to apply as many curses as you please, but those curses will have no effect. What's the point
Weird.
then? 2 reasons. Firstly, your spells gain a bunch of extra physical and chaos damage for each curse on enemies. Secondly, is the skill it grants called Coiling Bolts. This skill is a projectile spell that fires coiling physical and chaos projectiles with every cast. What makes this skill truly special though, is that it will split and chain through every cursed enemy, causing an absolute ruckus. See for yourself.
Pretty cool.
Periphery is a unique bow, which utilizes
As Myriad Swarms, Fire Cold Lightning, attack speed, LE damage from hits contributes to flammability, ignite, and chill magnitudes, freeze buildup, and shock chance. Level 90.
all powers of the Asmerian spirits by dealing damage of all elements. And all elements can cause all ailments. The coolest thing about this
Problem
bow,
is it has no
however,
damage.
utilizes all the powers of the Asmerian spirits
I mean, maybe
by
you should just get all your damage from elsewhere, but it doesn't really matter.
dealing damage of
From rings and gloves.
all elements. And all elements can cause all ailments. The coolest thing about this bow, however, is the Asmerian Swarm skill. These are minions that are summoned when you kill enemies. They will pursue all nearby enemies, damaging them and inflicting a debuff on them that boosts your elemental damage even further. Watch as you mow enemies down and the swarms of Asmerian wisps aid you, melting enemies one screen at a time.
This game needs spiritual aid or something. Like the minions aren't doing
The
shit. Everything's dying before the minions even get to it.
Ordained is a new spear, mastering in physical and lightning damage, with high critical strike chance too. This spear allows you to leech life not only from physical damage, but lightning too. It also creates a fragment of divinity nearby periodically. What are those? Well, this spear has the skill Righteous Descent, which is an epic, divine leap, aided by angelic wings. If you use the skill when a fragment of divinity is nearby, it will become empowered.
The wind-up on this is crazy
It will
long.
become a skill when a fragment of divinity is nearby.
I don't have time
It will
to like
become
drink some water
empowered.
once you cast this
Dealing
shit.
significantly more damage, it will become empowered. Dealing significantly more damage, gaining massive area of effect, and bypassing its cooldown. When fighting a boss, let a bunch of the fragments spawn, and then just unleash your divine havoc.
60k
Obliterating.
damn. Holy shit. Nutty.
Last, but not least, we have a new
Voices?
unique jewel. Voices. Voices is simple. It consumes 1 jewel slot to add more. There are versions that add 2 jewel slots, 3 jewel slots, and for those who are absurdly lucky,
Oh, come
or
on,
rich,
bro.
one with 4 jewel slots. Equip it, and notice the slots appear next to your character's portrait in the center.
What the hell?
One of the things we are concerned about is how long it takes for experienced players to replay through the game in each new league. As we learned from Path of Exile 1,
Smaller
one of
zones?
the things that can really help is having elements in the campaign that tell you where to go, if you know what to look for. We'll cover just one example per act for Acts 1 to 3, but there are many more than just these. For example, Hunting Grounds in Act 1 is a large, sparse area, containing multiple entrances and landmark encounters. Here's an example of some of the changes we've made here. Finding the ritual encounter in this area isn't too difficult. Now after completing it, a trail of locusts will lead to the entrance to Freythorn. Just follow it and find the source of the evil. You may also find corpses of dead animals, killed and pecked at by the crowbell. You'll notice a trail of blood leading away from them. Follow the trail and it will lead directly to the boss. We even put a signpost on the road to tell you which way to go to find Ogham Village. In Act 2, in the Mastodon Badlands, you need to find the Lightless Caverns and track down the Abyssal.
I need to.
Now to make this quicker, in the level you'll find these cracks. Just follow them, and it will take you right to their lair, allowing you to
Genius.
find and unlock the Well of Souls. In Act 3, the
What the hell's that guy
jungle
on the right?
areas have camps of explorers to sell you items. However, they are now even more useful. By talking to the explorers, they will point towards the next area. Not only that, but it will also reveal it on the minimap, so you can know exactly where to go.
Oh.
These are just some examples. We plan to do more and more of these over time in order to streamline the experience.
Cool. Nice. That's pretty sick.
Now, as this is
They're
an
ramping?
in-game expansion, it makes sense that we would work on Atlas QOL. We've added a search box that updates live as you type.
Huge.
Have a specific map you want to run? Now they will be much easier to find. If there are multiple maps,
That's big.
hitting enter will move you from map to map.
Wow.
Now, making a character build in Path of Exile 2 can be pretty complex. And instead of designing a build yourself, many players enjoy following online build guides. We have a pretty awesome community that has built many tools over the years for designing builds, but we wanted to improve the experience of following them. So, we are introducing a new build guide system directly into the game client.
Really?
Here's how it works. Community creators who write build guides can now create a new file format,
PoE2, you need to
a
uninstall that
build
shit.
file. Once downloaded, the builds appear in the in-game client, and selecting one will show you everything you need to know to make that build.
Holy shit, dude.
So you can see all the passives you need to allocate, ascendancy points you need to take, skill gems you need to equip, and recommendations for all the support gems you need to use as well.
Wow.
For items, the build designer can specify which uniques to use in each slot, or if needed, just add some notes to the item slot to say what kind of item you need. In fact, build creators can add notes to just about any of these areas, allowing them to explain different trade-offs in context.
Is there like a tool to make these,
just
or do I
give
have to
more
do this in a
info
text
about how
file?
these things should be used. They can also give level ranges to each element, allowing recommendations to change over time. Great for builds that need to respec after they reach a certain level. Now, all of this is
Can you also do like weapon slot one? I mean, weapon set 1 and 2 on that, I assume.
written in a standardized build format that creators can
So
use.
far, it looks really good.
And we imagine that a lot of community build tools will be updated to add support for this format.
Yeah, I'm kind of like torn on this. Like, it seems pretty cool. It's just like, it seems like if you get a good like build guide that somebody makes, you can just load it up and you get in the game and you just click everything that it tells you to click, which is kind of weird.
Now
But,
that we have trade market
let's see how it plays
searching
out.
built into the in-game client, we have added the ability to price check items you can find more easily. Control-Alt-clicking an item will now search for it on the trade market,
Oh, yeah, we need to do that.
showing you the current prices. For rare items, it's handy to exclude some mods, so we added the ability to enable and disable each mod so you can see what effect
People do that either way. There's a little bit more friction to it though when it's not in game.
each one has on the price. Next up, we're going to be talking about the new supporter packs for Return of the Ancients. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Blood Reaver and Divinity packs. Each
Oh yeah, you could easily advertise like some website or something, or some YouTube channel or whatever you want to do using those. I'm
tier contains
gonna make the sickest in-game build guide, but it's gonna like self-promo everywhere. Just wait.
the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Blood Reaver series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Let blood fuel your bloodshed. The
All right,
Exsanguinator weapon effect draw
dude, this
your
weapon
bloodshed
effect looks.
transactions.
I'm gonna be honest, it looks pretty
Let
bad.
blood fuel your bloodshed. The Exsanguinator
Not
weapon
a fan of
effect
that.
draws the blood of enemies you've slain and funnels it into your weapons. Turn the appearance of your endurance, frenzy, and power charges
Yeah, nobody's
into
gonna use this though. Nobody uses charges in this game now.
orbiting globules of blood with the Blood Reaver charges. While your charges are active, these blood orbs will grow in size when you absorb more blood from nearby enemies. There are options to have pure blood charges, or charges that still display which kind of charge they are at their core. A taste for blood doesn't negate a taste for style.
What character is this? Which is this one of the new characters? Who is this?
The Elite Blood Reaver armor features crimson leathers
It looks cool except the helmet. I don't like the helmet. Helmet's kind of cringe. It's like something out of Power Rangers.
and golden accents to set yourself apart from uncivilized leeches. It
True.
also features a back attachment, fashioned out of the wing of a colossal bat.
What is this trend of having like one back thing on one side? I have one of these in PoE1 as well. It looks really weird.
Alongside every Blood Reaver is their trusted gargoyle pet. In true gargoyle fashion, they take the form of a stone statue when you are idle, leaping into action when you're on the move again. What good is immortality if you don't have a vast mansion to come home to at the end of the day? The Eternal Blood Reaver supporter pack contains the Blood Reaver Manor Hideout. This exquisite two-story estate features an organ, a grand dining table, and cages for your visitors. You can alter the walls to create as many or few rooms as you like. Last but not least, the
That's
servant of
Quinn. Yeah, it's Quinn in the little treasure chest here.
Last but not least, the Servant of the Manor, eternally bound to the Order of the Blood Reavers. This henchman will manage your store, so you can spend more time
Tell me that doesn't look like
spilling
Quinn.
blood, bound to the Order of...
It looks like Quinn,
Last
dude.
but not least, the Servant of the Manor, eternally bound to the Order of the Blood Reavers. This henchman will manage your store, so you can spend more time spilling blood.
Stop that. We won't disappoint you. But if we do, you've our permission to beat us most violently.
The Divinity Pack series also contains
Is that a pregnant statue? What the hell? That looks really weird.
6 exclusive microtransactions. Call on Divinity to aid you in eluding enemy hits with the Divinity Dodge Roll effect. As you sprint, actual Divine Lightning wings will form out of your back,
Actual divine lightning wings.
leaving a trail of radiance as you engage or escape from combat. For situations that are too dicey, call on the gods above to send down the Storm of Divinity portal to create a safe passage for you to retreat through. Adorn yourself with the Knight of Divinity armor set, a highly revered attire only
I really like it, except the helmet again. Armor looks really good.
bestowed to those deemed worthy for the divine cause. Equipping the Divine Surge character effect empowers you with a storm of divine energy. Using skills causes the storm to burst from your character, spilling raw divinity into the area around you. The Arbiter of Divinity wings are the final
I'm usually not a fan of wings. Those look pretty good though. I still wouldn't use them,
piece
but
remaining to emphasize the force divinity has over
really
this
good.
realm. This ancient precursor machine was found locked away in a highly guarded vault. This ancient precursor machine was found locked away in a highly guarded vault. Its original purpose is unclear, but it has been altered to fuel your maps using the pure, everlasting divinity within the statue. The
I'm
pillars
gonna get that statue pregnant.
surrounding represent how many portals you have left for your map. This map device also tracks your progress as you complete the new Origins of Divinity storyline, added this expansion. Additionally, all microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1. On release weekend, we will also be releasing the Return of the Ancients mystery box, which will contain 2 armor sets, a set of map devices for your in-game adventures, a new tracking scroll that records the amount of currency you've gained from the currency exchange or your shop, and much more. like a set of finisher effects
Holy
and
screen
affinity
vibrate.
stashes. That's not all, however. The fragment stash tab is finally coming
Oh, yo. If we have them PB1, we get it for free, right?
to Path of Exile 2. And with it comes some tabception. Inside this one tab, there's a tab for your various boss key fragments. There's also a tab
Sick.
for all your precursor tablets, with each type of tablet
Huge.
getting 6 tabs of storage. Finally, there's a tab for your Jin barriers and inscribed ultimatums,
Nice,
both
nice.
of which get their own 6 tabs. That's a lot of tabs.
So
Lot of
that's
storage.
everything in 050. This is by far the biggest update we've ever made to PoE1 or 2. New in-game
Is it though?
storylines,
Is it bigger than 3.0 in PB1? Is it?
pinnacle bosses, crafting systems, items, ascendancy classes, and so much more. Now, because this update contains so much in-game content, we're doing significantly more testing than usual. For that to happen, we're taking a little longer than usual between the announcement and the release. 050 will be released in 3 weeks on May the 29th, with the patch notes being released on the Friday before that, on May 21st. But there's just one more thing to talk about. Now that the endgame is up to scratch, we have to start talking about our plan for 1.0 release. The feedback we've had during early access has been critical for making all the improvements that we'll be making to the game. At the same time, we had to create enough in-game content to make an ARPG that can call itself a successor to Path of Exile 1. Well, with 050, we now believe we have reached that point, and so this is going to be the last full-size league during early access. That's right, the next big update is going to be 1.0. Now, normally we would do our next big content release in August, but in the run-up to full release, our plans take a little longer on this one. As big as 050 is, 1.0 is even bigger. So we'll be launching 1.0 this year sometime after ExileCon. But that doesn't mean we won't be doing updates in the meantime.
Even bigger. So in 1.0, we're for sure going to get Act 5 and 6, right? Like, what else are they going to do? I feel like that's going to be a ton of work. Finishing 2 acts?
In this final phase, we have a lot of things to polish throughout the game.
Yeah, no
and
swords.
balance to improve.
I got scammed.
I'm sure there'll also be feedback about the new endgame that we need to incorporate too. The difference is that the focus is not going to be on adding more content like the previous updates, it's going to be on improving what we already have. But we still want to encourage people to try out all the balance changes and improvements that we're making. So we're going to be running a few event leagues during this phase alongside each update. Think remixes of existing mechanics or features. And speaking of ExileCon, don't forget to pencil it in on the weekend of November the 7th in New Zealand. ExileCon is a gathering of our players, and a chance for us to showcase everything we'll be working on for both Path of Exile 1 and 2. And this one will be particularly important for us, since we finally get to unveil some of the coolest content that we've been working on for a while now with Act 5 and 6. Tickets for the in-person event are currently sold out, but don't worry, all the announcements and talks are going to be streamed online for all of you to watch.
All right, cool. Interesting.
With each wave being empowered by more
Us to keep track to talk about the league.
Oh, yeah, that is a lot of
So
stuff.
to do that, I'm going to hand things over to Mark.
All right. So we got the fortress on the top left. This is Ritual Breach. Is this Delirium? Martial Artist. Spirit Walker. I'm gonna be honest, the Martial Artist look kind of shit to me. Spirit Walker looks like it might have potential though. $15 new bosses and pinnacles. Man. I need to figure out if I want to go softcore or hardcore. Yeah, I was expecting sword. I thought we were gonna get duelist. It's kind of nuts that we didn't, but surely 1.0, right? Wait, so what are we getting 1.0? Act 5, Act 6. Swords. Maybe traps? Swords, traps? Or what if they do Templar? Templar would be a huge draw. 400 new node Atlas tree. Build planner. Oh, the build planner thing, man. Hopefully we get more info about that soon. Hopefully this is not just like a text file, because that would be a bit odd to plan out. Masters of the Atlas. So the biggest things here are the new Infinite Atlas, the new bosses, the Atlas progression, like the quests and stuff. Pretty nuts. There's a lot. I need more info about that hardcore, the not the hardcore, the runic ward cheat death. And we also need info about energy shield. Is energy shield nerfed? That's going to determine whether I play hardcore or not. Energy shield and the cheat death mechanic. Does the map reset if you kill the origin? The fortress boss? I don't know. It's a good question. The new arbiter? Yeah, I don't know how it works. Dude, this seems so rippy. Looks good though. Oh yeah, this tree too, dude. So much. Genesis tree. Jewel quality. Honestly, the Spirit Walker seems kind of cool. I definitely want to look into that. Maybe we'll make a build around that. Maybe. And this too, you can have a unique boss. Tame Beast. Wait, it's gonna reserve a hell of spirit though, eh? It's gonna reserve so much spirit, surely. I don't know why they're putting this cool mechanic, this like RF, minion RF. Why are they putting behind some weird ass staff? Like, why not just put this as a skill gem? Wait, these voices? The voices are so much power creep. Because you don't even need, like, you don't have to put them on the outside edge jewels anymore. You just put them wherever. There better be a tool for this. Some sort of tool. Because if there's not, this is going to be a ton of work. Tame beast. Tame unique beast. Yeah, we need a list of unique beast bosses. We definitely need that.
Which uniques to use in each slot, or if needing different trade-offs, now search for several exclusive and power charges.
Side of the screen, allowing you to enter.
Man, there's a lot. Looks really good though. It's gonna make the end game feel much better to play. This current PoE2, the end game is just you just go from T1 to T15, and you just kind of just fuck off and do whatever
That's the new storyline of delivery.
with no direction, no purpose.
It's not only
This should make progression much more fun,
options,
more interesting.
but one question
Definitely looking forward to that.
the Highborn can offer. To the left and right are branches that will let you control,
Voices have changed from the video. Oh, okay.
including making sure that they're higher level,
That makes sense. Yeah, let's take a look at that.
specific mods that they will always have. With 15 point.
Reach the fortress by traversing forsaken maps and seal its ancient gates. What how much damage that thing does? The ooh. That looks rippy. If you fuck up. Strongboxes may roll greater versions of existing suffixes. This guy, hold on, the last guy, he looks like he's from that movie Apocalypto. Straight out of Apocalypto. This guy. Like the Aztec chief. What is a revival? Does anybody know what this is? Your apps have an additional revival. What does that mean? PoE2 the GOAT. Game of the year. It's looking really good. It's looking really good. Holy shit. Wait, there's different pages? I need to actually look at this stuff. Oh, so it gives you another portal? +1 portal? Wait, so is that just useless in hardcore? That sucks. It's an Atlas node that does absolutely nothing in hardcore. It's over. Greater Regal, Chaos Exalts. Breath of Alder, Ire, Passion, Betrayal. +1 max infusions. Spell skills have increased AoE. Increased AoE for attacks. This is really cool, this thing, the RF staff. But then you're giving up. You're giving up like a focus or shield, and you're giving up a rare scepter with like minion levels or whatever. I don't know why they keep doing this. Just put it on a skill gem, bro. Just put the skill gem in the bag. Are there even offering skills in the game? Oh, like pain offering. That's right. Offering skills are terrible though right now. They nerfed the shit out of them. It used to grant more damage, now it's increased. And it gave it a little more attack cast speed. Not very good. Wait, why does it look like a crafted mod though? Why does it look crafted? Wait, Mage Blood's not in the game yet, right? So that means they're adding it. Wonder what it does. It's like some charm shit. Nope, brand new. Yo, thanks for the raid. Aloha. Appreciate it, man. Thanks, dude. Welcome in, gamers. 30 new maps. That lava looks sick. 40 new uniques. Brutus Sled Sprinkler. PvP finally gonna be good? It's looking pretty good. It is looking pretty good. We need the full patch notes though. 5% chance to trigger Molten Shower per 25 strength. Molten Shower. What the hell is that? It's not in the game, is it? Nope. Not to be confused with Golden Shower. A bow with a block. 5% increased block chance per 100 total item armor on equipped armor items. Increased block chance is so much worse in PvP than PvP1. Oh. Wait, is it alt? It doesn't work for me. Maybe it's the browser? It doesn't work for me. Alt's doing some other weird shit. Allocates 2 Sinister Jewel sockets. We don't know what that is, right? Sinister? Oh, level 11 requirement, yeah. 1 to 4 added physical damage per 1% block chance. Isn't the block chance in this game, the cap, isn't like 50? Capped at 50. Holy brother. So 50 to 200 added physical damage at block cap. Yeah, seems kind of bad. I really want more info about this. Like, how is this going to be set up by build makers? It's probably going to be rough the first league because nobody's going to know how to do it. And then I assume next league there'll be a bunch of tools to help out and stuff. Alt plus click on it. Yeah, I tried that. It wasn't working for me. I don't know. It could be the browser I'm in. Oh, it's just like bookmarks. I see. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, it's probably a browser. We can try another browser here. Oh yeah, it works in this browser. Fires molten projectiles from the enemy hit, which will explode when they land nearby, dealing attack damage in an area. So this is molten strike. Pretty much triggered. 0.25 second cooldown, 5 uses. Grants your weapon surges. Non-melee proj attacks with that weapon consume surges to cause the projectiles fired to explode at the end of their flight. 100% of fizz to cold. No more than once per skill use. Starborn Onslaught. Build up glory by freezing or chilling enemies. Yeah, max glory. You may jump backwards, losing your mace. Loot. Wait, what? Oh, you may jump backwards, loosing your mace. With the force of a falling comet. This is a typo for sure. Onto your target. Wait, what is that supposed to be? Loosing your mace. The impact releases fissures and causes stars to fall in the area for a brief period. Converts 70% of fizz to cold. Oh, you can actually lock it in place on the website too. For 7% of fizz to cold, 3 fissures, 20 glory, 1.2 seconds to total attack time gross. Branch twice, 2.5 meter impact radius, plus 8 second of fissure duration. Calls down 20 stars. Cool. Oh, they already nerfed this. It was different in the video. This was 4 in the video. Flock of mist ravens circle you, dealing damage over time in an area. The numbers are bolstered by slain foes or in the presence of dangerous enemies. Flock is considered a single minion. How long does it last? It doesn't tell us how long the ravens last. Oh, wait. Nope, it doesn't. 10-second cooldown, 550% attack damage, 70% convert to chaos. Consumes 10 ravens. Whoa, wow. Hits every 0.12 seconds, 5-second duration? This seems insane. Oh yeah, maybe it is upgradable, true. If you can get plus minion levels on it, yeah, this seems kind of sick. That would be nuts. What are these mods that look crafted? Are these like Abyss Unveils or something? I don't understand what these mods are. Swarms are untargetable minions. SRS? Hello? That pursue nearby enemies to attack them and inflict fairy fire on hit. Yo, we're World of Warcraft now. We're Druid. Base on the tree using? Not sure what you mean. Max 8 swarms. Swarm duration 10 seconds. For 100% of physical damage to a random element. 100% chance to inflict 1 fairy fire on hits. 1% attack speed per 5 decks. Ugh. I'll get rid of that shit. 28% more damage with hits for each type of elemental element on target. What does fairy fire do? Oh, I see what you're saying. So if you get the mod from the tree, it looks like it's a crafted mod, basically. That's going to confuse me for a while. It looks like crafting bench mods. But like this minion attack cast speed, I assume this is also from the tree. I wonder why that's not crafted looking. Man, so we have what, 3 weeks? When did they say? 29th? 29th, right? 3 weeks, 1 day. Oh man, that's so far away. Chris Wilson interview. Sick. Is everybody freaking out about no swords? Bruh. What is this, man? These swords would be cool, but yeah, the game needs an end game more than anything. Because if you have swords and no end game, what are you going to play for like 5 days and you're done? Swords ain't doing much in that scenario. Cool looking boss. Guy has a Giga Chad chin. And Mega Mind. This reminds me of the Dark Souls 2 boss that has wings. I forget his name. It starts with a P. The Pursuer. Do you have wings? This guy. Oh, he has no... I thought he had wings. He flies around. But yeah, I guess no wings. Oh, does he? Hmm. Yeah, the guy was kind of hard. Oh yeah, you do fight him like a bunch of times, though. Or at least a few. Yeah, that is true. You can't do like the in-depth build like rotations and basically everything for the in-game build guide is going to be very surface level. Drive more demand for build guides, maybe. Oh yeah, true. Q&A that on-click .build generators will exist. Like, it'll copy your current build or what? Where is this mentioned at? Man, I need like a summary of this. Because I'm not watching a 2.5-hour video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure companion scale off minion damage. Share builds via files? Yeah, I'm just curious how they're generated exactly. Maybe we can go to that section of the video only.
Same time, like I still want the desirable theory of the game to be that you join the game having never played it before and you just explore and find the stuff that's interesting.
Yeah, I do want to watch this part here, especially the build planner stuff. And then I'll wait for somebody to do a TLDR for the rest of it.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to hit you with, I usually do this at the end, but right now, a surprise QOL UX round. So you've got this in-game build
It said it was going to be a file from memory. Yeah.
planner, which is an awesome addition. Very excited and kind of surprised that you did that as well. It's a huge leap over what you tested in the past. That kind of went away for a while, which was like the ability to plan passives.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the reason why that went away, since you had a bigger project in mind. I'm curious, when you take a different angle on this, what don't you want to do with this? Like, where is the line of where you don't want this to? Because this is something that helps like players a lot for in-game.
Right. Well, some people have asked us, like, are you going to suggest builds? Like, is GGG going to be like, here's some builds to play and that kind of thing? And I don't want to be doing that. I do want to leave it to the community to decide what is that stuff. So that means we're not going to be like, what I don't want it to be is like, okay, you like join the game for the first time and the game's like, pick a build, So that isn't how it should work. It needs to be that most, I know that a lot of players want to follow build guides, and that's absolutely fine. We want to give as good a tools as we can for that. But at the same time, like, I still want the desirable theory of the game to be that you join the game having never played it before and you just explore and find the stuff that's interesting. So, but then, like, if you're already going to a website to find a build guide, then at the point you've done that, like, we might as well make that as easy as possible for you to do and follow and all that sort of thing. So
We've actually made sure to keep it hidden unless you know to do it. So it's just like, you don't open your passive tree and it's like load files and you're like, what the heck is going on here?
I should mention that we didn't put it in the live stream because we weren't like 100% sure that it would be there, but it is being worked on right now that there's going to be like a one-click solution for getting a build from a community website, right? So the idea is like, a community website can put like a link, and when you click the link, it'll just add it to your account.
Like the filters, like what?
Yeah, exactly like the filters, right? So then it can just add it to your account, and that way you don't have to screw around with files or anything. That's important for console players as well because they also can't put files on the console.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it's going to be similar to Loot Filter where you can just add it if it just adds to your account. Okay, that's cool. So you don't have to like deal with files.
So basically they'll be able to add it to their account just like an item filter, and then now it's just going to appear there.
Trust. I know right now you have to have a real trust in your filter creator because they can just hide mirrors. So hopefully your build creator, so April 1st, your build creator just completely just changes your build and randomly for a day.
But the documentation for how to do the build files should be going up today-ish, and that means that what I'd expect to happen, although obviously it's up to them, like the various community projects like Path of Building and that kind of stuff to all like adopt that and make it so that you can so you can export a build from those tools, and then then creators can create websites showing those off.
I assume you'll be able to export a .build with Path of Building eventually. Who knows when that'll come though.
That kind of thing, and like that kind of stuff is what we'd expect.
It just improves the actual like physical act of like having a build guide and implementing that, using it for people who are. That's all.
Like surely this is just going to shine in campaign, right? This is probably not going to be that huge for endgame stuff, would be my guess.
And if we also find that like build creators are interested in adding notes to more places, like we try to get everything we can think of, but there might be places where because the idea is like anywhere where a creator wants to be able to say like here's some more tutorialization that they want to add. The idea is that they can kind of do that. Like that's the sort of.
I can tell people to upgrade their life flask for life flasks that heal more life.
Yeah, for sure, exactly. Like the example we had.
Love it. It's very true. People overlook it. So another one from our outstanding minutes is the mouse and keyboard and controller hot.
I know it's becoming a running joke at this point of like promising it every league and then not delivering it. And the annoying thing about it is that it's one of those things that like someone will work on it for like, this is a surprising amount of code to do to change it. But then every time it's like the guy, like someone working on it for like, you know, a month or
Are
something.
you talking
I'm
about
sure there's
energy
a league
shield?
UI that needs doing and then they get derailed. But I promise this time is the time that we will get it for 1.0.
I took him for the fragment tab, sorry.
Yeah, it's actually
but
legit.
also not
It
sorry.
legitimately was.
But not sorry, because the fragment tab's kind of, I want it and I need
Yeah,
it.
this is like, I think there was a bingo card that you saw. You're like, so many people want this.
Yeah,
Fragment
so
tab.
fragment
So
tab.
you can actually blame bingo card makers.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess
Hot
so.
shopping was on there too. I had my hand over it. I was like, look, they want the fragment tab.
Let's see.
Really, I mean, I want the fragment tab.
Another one that I haven't mentioned before, but revisiting is visibility issues. So skill
So like we did do some nerfs in 04, I believe, to some of the grenade spam stuff that you could do. But then I believe there was some other mechanics added that.
here. Plus skills is often brought up as something that's has a very high level of impact on your gearing choices and can feel for some I think a bit restrictive as just because it's so much stronger than
We
other
did have a big
options.
conversation about that. I can't remember what we finally decided on there.
Yeah, it's one of those dexterity-like conversations.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we are trimming a few levels off the top,
Yeah, that's right.
and or more so,
Yeah, yeah.
more so, we're trimming some off the top and moving some of it up so that it's still a high-level mod. But doing that for the weapon mods. But like, there's more to do here, for sure. I would say that given the like this league in particular, like I remember we started it and we were like, here's all the things that we've discussed we need to fix, we need to do all this, and then it was like, oh, and here's the like 8,000 other balance runes and crafting systems and everything we want to do and new classes and stuff. We're doing a bunch of stuff, but honestly, it just is as much as we can, to be honest. Like, you know, we're not sitting idly not doing it, but yeah, like I understand that there's a few things which I assume you're going to bring up a couple others that are left unresolved, and hopefully maybe one of them's resolved. We'll see.
Well, the next one was rarity, reprising our earlier discussions on rarity from last Q&A. You were saying that you were eager to at some point remove rarity from
I am interested in doing that. It's still a question of what we can replace it with. But there is one other change to talk about around that is a bit more subtle, and I don't know whether it will matter or not. But one of the things we identified, I mean, look, the thing people often say with rarity is they just don't want to give currency.
Yeah.
That's like a common thing they'll say. Like,
Because I'm all about like just reviewing the fundamentals. Is we're like, okay, we at some point in one of our many millions of spreadsheets, we're like, okay, here's obviously you have an expected amount of how much defense does someone have at a certain point in the game. Now that we have obviously enough players, enough statistics, we went in and had a look, and we were like, oh, people are way lower, especially at say between interlude, act 4, mid game, early in game. People's defenses are significantly lower than what we had deemed as what we wanted them to have. And you can look at that in a few ways. You can say, well, okay, people aren't upgrading gear as much as we wanted or expected. People aren't upgrading. I would say want, expected is definitely more of the thing. People aren't maybe taking as many defensive passives as we had expected, etc. And there are obviously many reasons for that. Some of them are garbage. But at the end of the day, right, we balance the game for people to have this much of a defense, this much EHP, and they don't have it. So let's get them to have that amount is our play. So instead of obviously changing, you can either change monster damage at that point, or we can give people more defenses. So we are generally buffing all of the base types on all of the defensive gear, on all armor evasion, I should say, up to the end of end game. Because like peak characters, there's a lot. You can get a lot. So like we've
This sounds like they're just buffing armor evasion and leaving ES alone. That's what it sounds like. Who knows what they're actually doing?
we've taken some of the outliers that are the things that make the, end game characters have a lot of those defenses and kind of brought them a bit down. So it shouldn't be worse. It should just be the same. But relative to rares, they could be a little bit worse. Yeah, ultimately,
this is mostly from Act 3 onwards, right?
pretty much, yeah. So more armor evasion is a start point. We've done a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, I mean, Energy Shield has this thing that has too much recovery available, like too easily for recharge, and like we've done a few things. A lot of them outliers, not necessarily all of them. So we've done a bit of changes to a whole bunch of stuff. But in particular, we're also doing like the deflection equation is honestly kind of not good enough. It's too rewarding for little investment, very little investment, and then there's like a kind of weird thing in the formula that I was trying to figure out the other day. But and then for investing beyond that, it's kind of like, well, not worth it.
Yeah.
The passive tree nodes are too weak. There's all these classes there no one cares about. Well,
fire and ignite builds, but kind of like damage over time builds in general. In particular, this kind of like absence of the pure damage over time build. Like, it seems to be always better to scale the hit damage and treat things like ignite as an add-on. And there seems to be various other problems with ignite as well in terms of like scaling. It seems to be always correct to go like stacking, or in some cases people saying like, well, the best way to play ignite is chaos damage. So how do you guys feel about kind of that sort of thing?
those keystones are always going to have that level of like one way is quantifiably better than the other in an interesting way. But yeah, this obviously it's not fully fleshed out or fully right. Like you can tell we're playing this, and we do want to do more. It was number 3 on I had my like top 5. Here's the things I want to fix. So, like defenses was number 1. Number 2, I think I actually had some stuff to do with some minion stuff, which I mean we've done a lot of itemization for, but I didn't get to do as much as I wanted. We had the Ascendancy classes in there, had Chronomancer in there, and I had there was like some
Minion.
stuff in there, and we had Chaos hits, and by correlation Archon, we had Ignite. Like these are all in my top 5 now, top 10 list, I guess. But like they're all up there, and so as soon as we actually get to Haul Ass and start fixing all the balance, more than we have been able to with this patch, given that it's kind of the same resources, trying to ensure endgame is good and trying like
That when you get things right for 1.0, there's I have a feeling that like 1.0 is like where you get to establish like here's the I've seen it getting asked a lot.
Temple changes, what are they doing?
Made changes there to
Yeah, so
to snaking works.
we had to get rid of the snake strategy. It caused a lot of problems.
Based.
And we actually had a solution for the snake strategy, like the proper solution that we wanted to do right after the league launched. Like it was actually a holiday, and like, it was like, okay, I need to like fix the snake strategy. But the problem is the one we came up with is that we felt like it would be a mid-league nerf if we deployed it. So we made like a few band-aid fixes, but it wasn't really the correct strategy. And ultimately, what the snake strategy is it comes about because there are rooms that the game wants to delete, but it can't delete them because it would disconnect the temple. And so what we've got is a solution that effectively is that if that would happen, then we'll just create an empty room there that still connects it up, but isn't the room that you had there before. And that just means that there's no incentive to kind of do those weird strategies anymore, which should result in all of the the weird, really broken stuff from happening. Yeah, like you can kind of take it more at face value because you don't have to worry about this like particular way of organizing things to be able to, to be able to do well.
And to be clear, the current snaking is resulting in what we deem as 1,000% unacceptable levels of item drops.
Yeah, the item drops are out of control due to
Actually
that.
out of control.
But there was this situation where we've got the stuff where like we would love to nerf it, but you can only nerf something like that if it hasn't gotten too out of containment before you nerf it. Because the moment that people feel like 10% of the player base is like, well, then I can't do it, and like you're pulling the ladder up behind them and that kind of stuff, like, it just doesn't feel good. So we just sort of had to let it be. And the thing that sucks about it is that it can like make people's perception of what the correct level of item drops is to be incorrect, and that can then mean that like when we don't have like Bananas Temple loot going on, that people like might not be as happy with that. But it'll be a thing that like one league down the line after they've forgotten about that part, it'll be okay. But yeah, like it was out of control. We didn't love it. That being said, like there are also some. Did you get the extra reward stuff for the reward rooms? Is that laser?
Yeah, we've done some buffs to the reward rooms.
So basically, just like if you play conventionally, there's some buffs to the rewards. We got like for the stuff that was like pointless to do before. So in particular, the reward rooms that you get for killing the architects, like those weren't good enough. We want to make sure people weren't even bothering.
There was a strategy where people were using those to like get quick hit zeri runs and stuff as well.
Kind of carrying on with the topic of skills, builds, and balance. We have the 2 new ascendancies, which you seem to be getting a little bit like with the classes. They
Like there was
shifted when it turns into a werewolf, a beast, on your shapeshift form. is actually things like kill stuff. So how do you make a big single minion work?
We have, like, honestly, I think it might have even been, we've tripled the damage, I think, of Tame to Beasts, just FYI. Cool.
Gee, boomer for this rate of speech. Oh, you gotta up your
Bosses in particular, what we've done is gone through and for
Your
every single one of
brain,
them,
up your
okay, are
brain,
you good
dude.
at stunning? Are you good at freezing? Do you, maybe they have, you know, the prime for stun thing. Maybe they have, we're trying to just really give each of them something that can
Leaning
complement
into
their
themes a bit.
So this is a question of just taking the bosses as being just
No,
like,
you're actually
all of them are actually like designed.
Perfect uniques. It is intended to affect all essence mods and alloys and all of that, but like, honestly, you will go as far as we can with these until we
Yeah, because
run out of
you've
time.
got the rune modifiers that come.
All right, yeah, I'll look for the TLDR for the rest of this. I think we got most of what we wanted to see here. Oh yeah, I'm really curious about Energy Shield. I'm curious about Varasta. Passive tree. Need more info about the build planner as well. Would be nice. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it here for now, boys. Thanks for chilling. I do appreciate it. We got 2 weeks until patch notes, so I don't know what we're gonna do yet. I'm probably gonna continue the PoE1 run for the Maw Fresh Start HCS stuff. We're getting close to getting them all, I think, online. So we'll probably do that, and then we'll probably do some leveling practice or something. Figure it out. But thanks for chilling, boys. As always, I appreciate it. And I will catch you guys soon. Take it easy.